Well, hello there. Hooligan here, and I want to invite you all on a story of my next 1,000 days. It's been quite an adventure. In our first 1,000 days, we got a lot done. We dug a giant hole and built a city out of it. We got pretty much all our gear maxed, besides a couple things we're not going to use that much. We built a castle. We built a bunch of stuff around the castle. We have close to 30-ish, maybe even 40-ish farms at this point. I lost track. I'm just going to be honest. I lost track. And of course, there's more to come. So yeah, in this one, we want to expand our kingdom. We want to make it a true citadel. By the time this is over, we want everything in this area to be done to our satisfaction or as close as possible. We also want to get ourselves some animal friends and force them to live with us because that's pretty much what it is. I mean, they didn't volunteer. Yeah. Anyways, we're talking about a zoo. We want to get the new mobs. Oh yes, I like the little armadillos. They are very, very cute. And speaking of cute, all the new puppies. Oh, we are gonna get a lot of doggies. But yeah, I really, really hope you guys enjoy this adventure with me. I've had so much fun making this stuff for you guys. Before we jump into our grind, I just want to say a couple things. Most important is thank you all so much for the amazing, ridiculous amount of support that has been coming through on the videos and the channel. It means an insane amount to me. It's the reason I do this. I just love making people smile, and as long as I know somebody out there smiling, having a good time, well, I'm a happy dude, and well, I have no complaints in that area. And the second thing is well, I live in the Midwest, and we have been getting ravaged by tornadoes and thunderstorms here recently. Now, don't worry, your boy and all my fam and everybody I know are perfectly fine, but it has caused a whole bunch of power outages. So I apologize for the delay on this episode. It should have been out many days ago, but well, here we are, and well, here it is. But there wasn't really nothing I could do about that because can't really record if I don't have power. But I'm excited for this one. This one's going to be mainly about, well, as the title says, loose ends and new plans, and we got big plans. Well, welcome back, my people, my dudes, my fam. We are jumping right into this one. Oh, by the way, you see that little building right there? That's our dried kelp farm. Don't know what I'm going to do with dried kelp, but if I need it, it's there. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, well, like I was saying, we are getting right into this because we have lots of big plans for this episode. In the last couple chapters, well, we've been grinding on this city, and I love it. It was taxing my brain as I was doing it, but as I got closer and closer and closer to being done, it's beautiful. The end result is amazing. But yeah, so we are almost done with the entire actual city. I might throw in a couple buildings later, but the actual city is done. Coming here real shortly. Don't worry, we're not doing this the whole episode. And the more important thing is we want to turn this little bottom here into a deep dark. And now that's going to take a little bit of work and a little bit of time. As we start this, we're on day 1200. And as we get close to being done, we're almost at 1300. So I've pretty much given up on the 100 days per episode. That just ain't happening because our projects are just getting too big. But that's not a bad thing. It's really not. If anything, it's probably a cool thing because I'm just going to put in more and more work in every episode. So anyways, I'm going to shut up for a little bit, play a little bit of music, and we are going to rock this city out. All right, so now we start utilizing iron golems to just kind of kill things passively as we go, as well as our skeleton spawner to drop them in certain locations. But we quickly realize that we do not have enough catalysts. I thought they would grow catalysts, they do not. So we have to do a little quick side mission. And this side mission goes south pretty quick, triggering our first shrieker. And then right away, another shrieker. Now, luckily, before this, we've gotten some catalyst without any trouble. But it starts quickly getting scary, because that's number 3 in really close succession. And we say we're out of here. But on the way out, well, yeah, we do summon the big bad warden. And we quickly get out of here, because he will one-shot us. I don't know what this dude's problem is. Like, why is he this grumpy? Like, just chill out a little bit, bro. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just, like, stealing stuff from your city. You just chill out. Now, at some point, we're probably going to have to go back to that ancient city. So here's the question. Is that warden going to be waiting for me when I do? Yeah, I don't really want to find that out. But anyways, we have infinite iron. And when I say infinite, like 4 double chest full of iron blocks from our farm. It works really good. So we just utilize a ton of iron golems. Just keep building them. We also have ridiculous amount of pumpkins from our farm, and we just let these things naturally grind away to the mobs at night. I could have built it myself, but I really just wanted it to spread naturally. I just figured it would look cooler, and I'll just touch up the areas it doesn't spread to. But I thought it came out pretty cool. And of course, I'm gonna build some structures down there at some point. So we spent 100 days working on this city just for the intro. Yeah, it was fun actually. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed building that crane over there. I don't know why. I like cranes. They're pretty cool. I normally don't put anything on the end of the crane though. And I enjoyed doing that. But anyways, I am done with this city for the episode. Now, it's clearly not done, but it is really close to being done. Let me show you some of the things that we're going to add eventually, but just not right now. So all up here, there's going to be some buildings and some other like industrial things, but I miss some materials. I want to utilize some dark prismarine, and well, I'm out of dark prismarine. And along these walls, I'm going to take out most of the frog lights, and I'm going to put in soul lanterns. I also don't have enough of those to do right now. So I stopped using the skeleton spawner to spawn the skulk because it was really unnecessary at this point. I modified our little slime spawner here to just passively do it, and I put a bunch of golems down there. Eventually, it's going to spread pretty far up, and we're just going to let it do its thing naturally. But yeah, this is the city. I would do a fly down and just kind of like a flyby down there, but the shriekers will explode your eardrums. Like, it's a lot. So we're not going to do that. Instead, I want to go do some fun things, some low-key things for just a little bit. Maybe, play with some animals, give them some names, and, I don't know, maybe build a farm or something. Yeah, that sounds fun. Let's try that. I have really been enjoying reading all your comments. I love it. It's probably my favorite part of doing this YouTube thing. It's worth it. It's worth it. And, well, I got a comment from Rowie. And, well, I got the idea, well, thanks to them, about a name for this doggy here. I modified it a little bit. It's kind of based on the name of their dog, combining some things together. So here we go. We have Howligan. Yeah. It's not narcissistic, okay? It's his own name. Yeah, he's not a mini-me. Man, let's go find something to do. Now, I have talked about building an inn here like 6 times, and I finally got my inspiration. I'm going with like a medieval German inn, maybe Swedish, I don't know. But, yeah, I got some ideas for it, but I'm going to need a little bit of supplies. Main one being white terracotta. Now, I normally don't use terracotta in any builds, At least I never really have in the past, so we head off to get as much white terracotta as we need. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to share a little story with you guys. Something happened off camera that I really wish I would have recorded. I almost died in the stupidest of ways. Yeah, I was digging for just a little bit of basalt right outside of our portal in the nether, and, well, I burned to death, and my totem saved me. And I panicked because I kind of forgot I even had the totem. Anyways, I'm still alive, and, well, I only got one totem left. And we were over here anyways, so we decided we wanted to get some of this dripstone. It was wide open, pretty safe, and, well, I got some plans for this as well. So we head back home, and we get ready to go build. After all the grinding we've been doing, I just kind of wanted to just have some chill vibes while we rock this inn out. And I think it came out pretty cool. I've been messing around with new color palettes, and it's been fun because, well, I don't like getting stuck in the same patterns. Now, you might be wondering why I use shaders for some stuff and not for other scenes. Well, that's not really because I like the shaders. It's because Minecraft has a bad habit of just raining at the worst time and messing up your footage. So the shaders help with that. That's generally why, if I'm using shaders, that's probably why. Every once in a while I'll use it for a cinematic, but not usually. So we want this inn to have some bartenders in the middle. You'll see them here shortly. And as we're doing this, we're just thinking about all the big plans we have coming, because we have so much stuff that we want to do. It's really not a matter of what we're going to do, it's when we're going to do it. Here's some examples. I want to build a sky city. Oh yes, a city in the sky. I want to build a royal zoo. I want to build a giant residential area next to the castle. I want to drain an ocean monument. And the list goes on and on and on. So like I said, it's a matter of what do we want to do next. But yeah, so I'm getting into the decorative phase of this, and I was having fun with it. I was just kind of vibing and just rolling with whatever. I didn't do the top part of the interior, and I did that for a reason because I have big plans involving a layup there. You know what? I'll just spoil it. I'm going to make it look like the Alea is performing on stage. Yeah, I just spoil my stuff. I don't keep secrets. But right there, we put honey blocks right there, so when we get our villagers in here, well, they're going to live here forever. They're going to be decorative, and they're going to give us some sweet deals, because we are going to cure these guys. And I just kind of whipped an interior together. I'll probably change some stuff later, but, well, this is what I had on my brain at the time. And I was just kind of shaping things out at this point. I didn't really know what I wanted to go on that end of the inn right there. The end of the inn. Ha 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 ha. But I did want a little pond here, and I wanted it to be raised up. So we do get ourselves some villagers. We bred up a couple, and we let them get num-nummed real quick. I don't know why. That's always satisfying, just feeding them. I don't even know. I'm weird. And we cure these bad boys up. And that will give us a total of 4 of these guys. So that's pretty much all the redstone we're ever going to need for cheap, as well as glowstone and a couple other things. So that's a pretty sweet deal. Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty happy with the outcome of it. And then we get to just finishing up a couple details. We decided we wanted to put a cocoa bean farm here. No real reason. I didn't have a cocoa bean farm, and I thought it might look kind of cool. So, yeah. And then the outcome is pretty sweet. Now, the stone underneath it, I didn't mess with that too much because I have to terraform that whole cliffside. And, well, I'm not doing that right now because I have other things I want to do. Alright, so we're sitting on day 1320, and most of this episode is going to be about details. Lots of details, lots of loose ends, like that right there. But why is that just a hole? Why don't I have a window or something in there? Anyways, we built our inn, and it took quite a while. But one of the things I want to do next is I need to build a raid farm. I really need it, because I have almost died so many times, from skeletons to piglin brutes to regular piglin, to lava twice. Lava actually got me once, and the totem saved me. And the list goes on and on. Oh my gosh, this game really wants me dead. But let me show you some of the plans we do have for this area. And I mentioned before, but this is going to be a big gatehouse, and it's going to kind of frame out this section. And it's going to have a bridge going over to that section with an additional gatehouse. Now, as far as what's going to go over there with it, I don't know yet. That might be where our zoo goes. I don't know though. Now, this here is already set in stone. But I don't know exactly how I want to do it yet because I want to make this a big metropolis, a big medieval city. And the city's going to go all the way to the bank. I want the some of the houses to actually be like hovering over the bank, like on a cliffside. But that's our plan for this area. But right now, I want to go get totems so I don't die. Because once this one's gone, I don't have any more. So we start heading off towards our future raid site, just passing our beautiful, beautiful city. You know what? I'm going to say it was 100% worth the effort. I love it. But anyways, the location we chose was close to our mining desert that we've hit up several times. Because there was an outpost that we'd already raided, but it'll keep spawning captains. And near it was a nice little desert island. It was fairly flat, didn't really require too much work. So we start just kind of flattening it out a little bit more because eventually we want to make this thing look pretty, like, well, not pretty, but like decorated. Almost like a ruined city, maybe? Not even a city, like a ruined, I don't know, something. Kidnapping a villager here. We could still see all the leather armor we were trading to one of the villagers to get a saddle when we got our second camel. This villager was not cooperating. He kept trying to run through the ocean to go back home. What a nerd. I say that jokingly because I myself am a nerd and I love it. But we do get him in the hole. And we start just kind of building the farm. We didn't want this to be sand because we're going to lean into, I think, a stone build on this one. Now, it's worth noting that this is not my design. This is, well, I don't know who originally did it, but I learned how to do this from Voltrex. I believe that's how it's said. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done this design before, but dang it, it works pretty good. Alright, so our farm should be functional. But now it's time to go get some Bad Omen and see if it actually works. I assume it does. Let's see if I can go do this without getting attacked by Vexus, because I don't want to be trapped in a small room with Vexus. That could be really bad. But we're gonna see what happens. Let's go do this. Alright, I think it's safe to say that our farm works. Now, we need to make it look cool, though. Yeah. Now, you know your boy has to decorate everything. That's just how I do. But before I get too deep into this, I need to do like a little test to make sure it's not going to actually affect the functioning of the farm. And if it doesn't, I want to come back here and I want to put some palm trees in, custom palm trees, and a whole bunch of other decor. Let's try this out. So we do one last little check to make sure our decorations don't obstruct the farm at all, and they don't. They might slow it down a little bit, just getting snagged on a couple blocks, but it's not that big of a deal. We're not in that big of a rush. But yeah, it's just actually kind of peaceful watching all this go down, considering everything here wants to end our game. But they can't because we're safe. That worked out pretty well. They got snagged a couple of times, but nothing that's not doable. I am going to have to figure out some different designs and gather a bunch of supplies because, well, add another project to the list because I want to terraform this whole thing all the way to that island that connects to it. Yeah, just keep adding it up. But we're gonna go home. We're gonna work on the castle a bit, I think. Now, if you couldn't tell by now, that we're leaning pretty hard into the chillin' vibes on this episode, and it's really, really important to my brain because it got very, very taxed doing the last couple big builds we did. Not in a bad way. I'm not complaining at all. I had a blast doing it, but sometimes you just got to step back and just revamp your brain, and that's what I'm doing right now. Just doing some small details on the castle and little things that you wouldn't think make a difference, but when you look back at them without it, it does make a big difference. And we needed ourselves a decent chicken coop. I've been meaning to build this for a while. I really didn't think of a design yet. And the first design I come up with here, I do not like it at all. It looks really wonky, and I'm like, no, 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 no. We're gonna switch that up, and that's perfectly fine. If you're new to this game or just like struggle with building, do never. That's not even real English. Never be afraid to switch your builds up. Like, play with different ideas. Like, once you have an idea, you do not have to stick with it, like, through thick and thin. You can change it up. A lot of people, like, get stuck wanting to make something work even if it doesn't. Well, guess what? It's not bad to just completely restart. So, anyways, we wanted some decoration chickens, too. And you know what? At some point, once we get enough eggs and, well, we'll never need chickens again, we might release all these dudes. I don't know if I want that many chickens running around my world, but, oh, they don't have to be caged up forever. And we're not stopping yet. The build train keeps on going. So we start clearing out a little spot here to build ourselves a farmhouse. And I want this farmhouse to be a little fancier than your average farmhouse. Like, it's very, very successful. And the shaders come in because, well, the stupid rain messes up my stupid build yet again. Oh, how stupid. That's a lot of stupids. So anyways, we get to just decorating it up. Once again, just playing with things on the fly. I don't plan crap, and that's the way I like to do it. The end result of this one came out pretty good. I wouldn't say it's my best, but I have no regrets about it. Now, at the bottom of this is going to be our wheat farm. We're going to dig down and utilize 2 villagers who can do nothing but harvest wheat. We're going to fill their inventories with seed so they cannot pick up the actual wheat, and hoppers will pick up the wheat instead. So that's going to be very, very important for all the mud needs we have. And of course we dug into the side of this cliff, so we had to fix it. We can't just have a bunch of dirt laying around because, well, dirt's one of my pet peeves, at least regular dirt. Coarse dirt and rooted dirt, pretty awesome. And sometimes I'll even leave that in the side of a cliff, but regular dirt, I do not dig it, literally. And to frame this out, we're going to do a big wheat field. Now, I wanted this to like climb up the side of the mountain, and when it grows all the way, it's going to be pretty cool. And what this also does is allows us to frame a path to go up to behind the castle, where we, of course, we have more plans up that way. There's really always plans. It never ends. Which, if it did, then I wouldn't be playing this game. But, yeah, anyways. We start doing this massive, massive path, and weirdly enough, this path took a while, like, because I'm very meticulous, and, well, I was even bummed when I was doing the path because I had been out of rooted dirt for a while, so I'm going to have to go get a whole bunch more really, really soon. But for right now, we're just working with the coarse dirt and the pods oil and the other things we have. We'll come back and detail it a little bit later. So we're getting close to 1,400 days on this episode, and, well, I want to do another build. Now, this build, I don't know if I will do the decoration portion of it. It's going to be our wool farm, and I need it. I need it for a lot of different things, and, well, I'm going to at least get it functional. And we might have to come back and decorate it another day because, well, we've already put in a ton of work on this one. Now, we were going to do it over there, but that's just not close enough for it to be always active. It's not like the iron farm. If you're not around the area, it won't work. So we're going to go gather a bit of dye and all that whatnot, and we're going to build this little sheep farm real quick. We start getting ourselves prepared for this build coming up, and we had already gotten all our redstone components as well as our glass, all our hoppers, dispensers, observers, hopper minecarts. You actually have to use that for this one. I don't know if there's a way to do it without it, but it's not that hard to do, and we have more iron than we could ever use in like 50 lifetimes. No big deal. So we want to make sure we have all 15 dyes. We don't need the white dye because, well, all the sheep are already white. One of the most peaceful things in this game for me is like collecting dyes and like building boxes for a build that I know is coming up. Just because it's something satisfying. Like you know you have everything ready. Nothing's going to be left out. You don't have to run back and find other crap. Nope. You're ready to go. Anyways, this is going to be like a cathedral dedicated to Jeb, as well as our wolf farm. At least that's what I'm going for. But yeah, we start hoarding our hoarding. I don't even think that's the right word. Herding, yeah, English. All our sheepies into a little pen. And we decided we want to go ahead and get rid of this little beacon platform because we're not going to use it anytime soon. And our beacon's over at the Steampunk City anyways. Let's go. Alright, so we're sitting here on day 1364, put in about 200 days worth of work. And our sheep farm here, even though it looks kind of bland right now, it's cranking away. Now these sheep are very loud, and I have the volume turned pretty far down. But we're going to put banners indicating each color of wool that we get from them. And we're going to put an altar right here. And that's where Jeb is going to rule his other sheep from. And right here, going to have a bunch of like weird pews. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. And yeah, big cathedral Gothic design, for sure. Now here, look at that. Look at that, our wheat farm just kind of growing in and looking pretty cool. Yeah. But anyways, this is probably where we're going to have to call this one. I do want to do one last thing. I just want to do a cinematic flyby of everything we've accomplished. Well, at least on the castle. We already saw the Steampunk City. Taking a look at everything we've accomplished this chapter, I am extremely proud. I struggled a little bit on this one, just because, like I said, there was power outages, and well, my brain was a little frazzled. I kept having to take breaks that I didn't want to take, and lost track of my time. But I couldn't be happier, and more importantly, we're working towards them next 1,000 days. We got big plans for the future. Next episode is going to start a big project. And it's going to be really cool. That's all I'm going to say. Now, normally I spoil things, but not on this one. All I'm going to tell you is that we're jumping right back into the grind. As soon as this posts, the next one starts. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Awesome. Hope you have a lovely day. Welcome back to Chapter 9 of our journey. We're sitting at 1,392 days. Yep, we're still alive. Feeling pretty good, actually. We got big plans for this one, like I said in the last chapter. We're sitting next to Halligan here, and we need to get this dude some friends. The new update dropped. Now, I have not installed it yet. The reason I haven't is because Replay Mod has not updated. And well, if I update the game and I don't have the new version of Replay Mod, I can only do first-person footage. And I don't want to be stuck in that just yet. However, if we get to the end of this episode or halfway through it as I'm recording it and it's still not updated, I'm just going to risk it and update it, and we're going to go get some of these brand new doggies, as well as some armadillos. And we got some other really cool builds and things planned. We're starting a big project. That's all I'm going to say. You'll see. Now, another thing to note is with the new update, the spawn chunks are going to change. They'll no longer be, what was it before? Like 16 chunks or something like that. It'll be down to 3 chunks. Now, the good news for us is our spawn naturally is like right there, which means the only farm we care about spawn chunks for, which is this iron farm, should not be affected. Now, if it is affected, we're not that worried because we have so much iron, I don't think I'll ever need any more. But anyways, let's go do some builds and get to rocking on this episode. Alright, so now last episode we ended off with just getting this wool farm functional. And let me tell you right now, it works really well. But we were out of time, so we had to post it, but it's not that big of a deal because this gives us an intro to this one. Now, all this wool is going to be pretty important for various things. Surviving the deep dark, making banners, beds. I'm probably going to use some of the wool in like market stalls, things like that. But anyways, I kind of thought it came out with like a gothic design, which I thought was pretty cool. And in here, we just start doing a little decoration, just freestyling it, no big deal. Getting a place for Jeb to rule his other sheepies. There he goes, this little spinning and changing colors in there. And I intentionally wanted the floor to be mostly dirt and versions of dirt, because it's a cathedral to sheep. What else would it be? I mean, come on. And with like every animal farm I ever do, I need some free roaming sheep. Well, somewhat free roaming sheep. You can't just let them roam everywhere. They'll go kill themselves. They're dumb. So we just do a little outside design. Breeding up some new villagers to be fishermen so I don't have to waste my coal on campfires. We go right into our next build. Now, I'm doing a lot of quick building here at the beginning of the episode because, like I said, I might lose the ability to later. We move these pandas out of the way because, well, we're going to use them for something later, hint, hint. And also we needed the room here for our next structure we're going to put together, which is just a little fisherman's hut. We're going to decorate it up a little bit, and these guys are going to live in here and give us, all the campfires we could ever need. That's really all we want for them. So we had to go through 3 villagers before we got 2 that would give us campfires. But now that we have them, we'll always have campfires. And I love to use them for decoration, pretty much the only use for them. I mean, you could use them to cook food, but who would really do that? I like to put them out and use them as like awnings, as well as in pathways. But yeah, so we're just whipping this up. We wanted cod on one side and salmon on the other, so we kind of just display that. We had buckets of cod that we got from trading with the villagers, so we go ahead and put that in the first fish barrel. But we're going to have to go get some salmon for the second fish barrel. And we finish up little details, and we go to get those fishies. After getting about 8 buckets of salmon, we see this little drowned dude throwing tridents at us. And, we had to see if he was going to give us anything. And he gave us another trident, which means at some point we get to have some fun with some riptide. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it is fun for goofing with. Especially when it's raining. Yeah, that's pretty fun. But we finished up this little build, a little bit of details. We filled up the barrel with salmon, and just we called this one done. Now, I have one more cool build I want to do. We've done a few little builds so far, but the next one is going to be significantly larger, and it's going to take a lot of detail. So we start just setting up our banks and everything else to do this build. Clearing out a foundation for it, and just kind of getting our canvas ready to work on. And if you didn't know, this is going to be our gatehouse. And I thought about on this for a while, and I finally decided how I want to design it. On one side, I want it to be more like a, not like a fortress, like a, what am I thinking here? Like a keep. And on the other side, it's going to be a tower just dropping off to the other bank. Now, I have plans for that other bank, and, I think that's where the zoo's going to go. I kind of have it planned out in my head, but I think that's what's going to happen. So we get to just working on this, and here shortly we're just going to put on some music and rock out and get this thing done. But I just want to chat for a minute. Two things. I am ready to go get some doggies. Like I have to. I think I have to risk losing replay mod at this point because I can't contain myself. I need some pups. And the second thing is one of our pandas dies. Yeah. Apparently, if they're in the ocean, pufferfish can kill them. I did not know this could happen. I kind of thought pufferfish only attacked players. But we do lose a panda. It's a sad day. We have to make a little memorial to him or something because he was a cool panda. Oh, there he goes. He's gone. Anyways, let's rock this build out and then let's go find ourselves some puppies. All right, so our gatehouse is pretty much done, and well, one of our panda boys just died. Don't really know how. I'm thinking that since they were technically in the ocean, a pufferfish killed one of them. Didn't really know that could happen. Also, can we just talk about how this river is like 50 feet deep and the ocean is like a wading pool? It makes no sense. Anyways, it's about time to go get some doggies. But I want to do a little flyby of our little kingdom here and just see what it looks like with this addition of the gatehouse. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I'm digging it. Anyways, let's go get some pups. Alright, so we are officially in 1.20.5, which means doggies and armadillos should be in the game. Now, I gathered some resources that I think might be all we need to go on this little adventure, but I have not tested anything out or anything like that. Now, if you notice, we don't have our coordinates mod. It's not updated yet, neither is our replay mod, so we are in first-person footage. Yep, that's what we got for right now, but I'll make it work. I'll make it work. No, just talking about mods, the only mods I have ever installed, they don't give me anything. The closest one that actually gives me something is the coordinates mod, but you get the same results just by hitting F3, so why is it not just on screen anyways? The rest of the mods are literally just for recording. I do not have any mods in this game that actually give me any benefit. Anyways, let's go on this doggy adventure. So I probably overkill. I probably don't need this many bones, but we got them if we need them, as well as an anvil and some name tags, so we can just anvil or name tag things on the fly. A bunch of leads and some spider eyes. Now, we've put off making our spider farm here for quite a while now. We have one ready to go in the Steampunk City. That might be one thing we do pretty soon because, well, I'm always running out of string, and I'm going to need spider eyes now because that's what the armadillos eat. Anyways, let's get going. We head off to the east because we know there's savanna over this way, but there's also our city, so we just had to stop by and just check and see how the skulk was doing. We fly by here every once in a while, so we wanted to see how it progressed. Alright, now I believe there is a new wolf and the armadillo that could spawn in this savanna. Question is, do we get lucky? So we just kind of fly around, just looking for any new doggies, armadillos, really anything that's new. And, well, yeah, we did not get lucky. If anything, the game's kind of annoying us right now. But, you know, it's part of the game, so it's whatever. We actually find some dogs. Now, the thing is, though, they are not the new dogs. I wasn't sure, because I thought, okay, ocelots back in the day, you'd have to tame them before they became different types of kitties. So I said, all right, let's try taming a couple of these doggies and see what happens. And we do. We tame them up, and nothing really changes. And, well, if I'm being honest here, I didn't really know what the new variants look like. So I didn't know if it was just very slight shades of different colors, kind of like the cats, or if there were bigger differences. And, well, there's bigger differences. These are just normal dogs, as I will say in just a second. Now, I do figure out why I'm only getting these variants, but for right now, yeah, this is what we got. Alright, so these are just regular doggies. Don't know why it didn't spawn the other variants. So I'm going to leave these guys at the Steampunk City, and we're going to go try this again. And right here's where we figured things out. We start clearing out some mobs to, you know, get some more room in the mob cap, thinking that might let the new wolves spawn. Well, that's not the case. These things are not dropping any loot, and that is because the All Mobs Head data pack has broken the loot table. In this update, they changed the loot table, and, well, the data pack can't work with it, so it just doesn't let it drop anything, including letting the new wolves spawn. So if you have that data pack, disable it. Flying about 2,500 blocks to the southeast, our luck starts to change, and we're feeling a lot better now. Alright, so our game's not completely broken. I think one of my data packs for the mob heads was messing with it, because there's our first armadillo. Hey, buddy. You look pretty cool. You got a friend around here? Because I really don't want to have to make this trip twice. Alright, you stay here. I'm going to go find you a friend, bud. I decided to check the mesa that was around here. Are they still called mesas, or are they just badlands now? Either way, they can spawn in here as well, but only in the wooded portions of it. We don't find them anyways. But we do finally find some new pups. It only took, like, forever. But we did, and they're pretty cool. Actually reminds me of my dog in real life. Oh yeah, that's our first new doggies. These ones are the wooded wolves? Wood wolves? And let's go see if we can't get that other armadillo. After flying around for about 3 days, we do get another one to spawn. But the question here is, can these things go in water? I really hope so, because it's a long journey home. We're going to find out. Alright. So we got 2 armadillos and 2 new puppies. We still need 7 more dogs. But I think we're going to get these guys home first. And that's just a brisk walk about 3,000 blocks that way. So, if I see anything cool on the way, I'll show you, but if not, I'll see you back home. The journey to get these guys home wasn't too terrible, but it did take many, many days. But I did discover something pretty cool. I was wondering if these guys could swim. They can straight up water ski like pros. It was actually pretty awesome. I wish I knew this at the beginning. Oh, that's a beautiful sight. We are almost home with these guys. I don't really use these roads I made. They're more just for decoration, but it's kind of nice. Ever since I got the elytra, I just fly everywhere, but it ain't too bad. See, this is why I built the road. I knew this whole time I was going to need to bring these armadillos back. Alright, so temporarily we're going to leave these guys in here and see if they work in spawn chunks. I don't really know. There's no redstone involved, so they might shed their scoot while we're away. I don't know. But let's see if the iron farm's been working while we've been gone. And it has been working, so it's still in spawn chunks. So this was not affected, because I cleared this thing out completely before we left. Anyways, it's time to go get more doggies. Oh, we got more doggies. Come on, buddies. Which ones are these? Are these the rusty ones? No, they're pretty cool though. Come on, guys. Ooh, these guys look cool. They look like hyenas. Alright, another one down. Oh, these ones are really cute. They're like spotted dogs. Yeah, let's drop these guys off. Oh, that guy is beautiful. Let's get him a buddy, though. Where'd he go? There was another one. There's his friends. Only a couple more to go. And yet another one. Come here, buddy. You have a friend around here? Nice. We are almost done. I think we only need 2 more. We finally found our snow dogs, and let me tell you something. These things are bugged. Often in the grove, the normal wolves will just spawn, the old school pale wolves. This took so many freaking days. So I ended up turning on hitboxes, and if you're playing on Java, all you gotta do to do that is to hold F3 and hit B. It's a built-in feature of the game. But we're gonna get these dudes home, and we got 1 more dog, and we are done. 5,000 blocks in a whole nother direction, we finally found the chestnut one. Oh, look at that, an accomplishment. The whole pack. Now I need to hopscotch these guys home. Yeah. We drop our pups off at home and we start getting the materials we need to make our dog armor. And we wanted to go with green, specifically lime green. I don't know why. I just like it. Whatever. And if you didn't know, you can actually grow sea pickles as long as you have some coral underwater. Just with bone meal. Yeah, we got our colors ready, and we got plenty of the scoot from our armadillos, so we make up all our armor. And we just want them to match for now. I might give them like custom armors later, but right now I just want them to look uniform. Like they're soldiers. They're comrades. They all need to be somewhat matching, And green seems like it would blend into our jungle environment. I'd like to introduce you all to the crew. These guys are all ex-special forces. They've done some crazy stuff. Like I think one of them was like undercover, real deep in like a catnip ring, trying to bring it down. These are some bad, bad dudes. Let me introduce you though. Commander Howligan. We got Brick. Powder. Captain Drips. Mr. Grimm. Bones. Maya. Gunner. And Fixer. Suit up, boys. You're on duty. That's better. Oh, yeah. Let's do a little drill with these boys, okay? Alright, guys. We have a squadron of zombies and skeletons right over that hill. Are you guys ready? Squirrel! No, for real, though. We have to go kill these guys, okay? They're going to invade the kingdom. They're going to take out our villagers. Tennis ball! Come on. Focus up, alright? Okay. Car! I give up. Alright, so we have assembled a pet army. I really want to take these guys into a fight, but I don't want any of them to die. I love them all. But I'm going to share something with you peoples about my actual life. I have 2 dogs in real life, and one of them is named Maya. Now, this was the woods wolf, because it kind of looked like her. And she is a German Shepherd and a Lab, and she is awesome. Real goofy. And Gunner is my other pup in real life. He is a Jack Russell and I think a Rat Terrier. We never really knew. They're both mixed. And he is just the most emotionally like goofball dog ever. Like one firework goes off and he's having a bad day for like a week. But anyways, we have a big project to start. No, this was not the big project. The keep was not. This was a side project. Kind of ridiculous, the size of it, but whatever. That's a side project. We have another big build to start. And we're clearly not going to finish it this episode, but we are going to plan it out. So our pup, that's not English. Our pup army here is just going to chill for a little bit in our little battlements, our little keep. And we are going to go start an enormous project. Let's go. Now, some of you might have guessed this project, and it's going to be the zoo, and it is going to be quite large. And it's not probably even going to be done next chapter. This thing's going to go on for a hot minute. Yeah, because we are not only going to be collecting all the non-farm animals, the more exotic stuff, but we're also going to be collecting a whole bunch of hostile mobs. I want to trap a ravager, a zoglin. I'm going to name tag 3 zombies. I got some special names for them dudes. And we're going to leave room for expansion as well, but this is one of the few builds that I actually planned out fairly well, only because I didn't want to build the zoo and then not have enough room for all the mobs I wanted to include. So I did make a list of all the mobs I wanted to put in here, and we just started working through and just making spots for them. Now, these spots might be adjusted later, but for right now, we are just setting up our canvas. We are just clearing out this area, and we're just going to frame out where we generally want things to go. Like right here, that's going to be the gate. I got some plans for that. And we want some of the exhibits to be going into the side of the mountain. And then some of them more like out of an open. Like the turtles, I want them right in the middle in their own little pond area. And so on and so forth. We got plans for everything. That's why I'm putting signs up, just general ideas of where I want things to go. This project was taking a while, so we brought the beacon over so we could just whip through it. But yeah, it's going to be a big fun project. And with this and the city we're going to build around the castle, this place is really going to be a true capital, a true kingdom, if you will. So I'm going to just play a little of my awesome friend's music, and I'll get back to you here very shortly. You might be wondering, Hooligan Dude, you said replay mod was going to be down. Well, it is, but I sneakily did all of this before we went and got the doggies. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it afterwards. But I do have plans for the next episode. I'm going to use a second computer to go into Spectator and record myself playing the game, at least until replay mod's back up. I do want to ask you guys a question, though. Do you dudes enjoy when I talk about the technical aspect of this, as far as recording or just the way the game functions? I don't know. I enjoy talking about it, and I was wondering if you guys do. But anyways, I want to do one quick flyby to end this episode off, just to see how the kingdom's going to be looking. Oh, our kingdom is really, really starting to come together. I am loving it. I got no regrets. None. But yeah, we got some big plans for this zoo. So along this wall over here, that's going to be like more mountainous type things. Your goats, your foxes. I'm going to put polar bears over there too, just because in my local zoo, that's kind of how they're portrayed. Just kind of in the side of the cliff. And then like it's going to be more like exotic over here. Your camels, your pandas, your llamas, your warmer climates. That weird building back there, that's going to be like aquatic. Some ocelotls and some tanks, some various fishies. Not in the same tank because the ocelotls will kill them. Armadillos, and this big square building right here, it's going to be pretty big. And that's going to be where all the ouchies are going to be stored. All the things that want to kill us if we don't contain them. But this project is going to take a long time. I got to figure out what I want to do for the outside of it to kind of frame it out for the walls. My local zoo, they use kind of like almost like mud brick, if I was going to compare it to a Minecraft texture. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but one way or another, it's going to end up looking cool, even though it might destroy my brain trying to figure out how to make all this fit and look cool. But yeah, when we're done with this, and yeah, over the next couple of episodes, we are going to work on this, and we are going to explode a city. It's just going to erupt all around the castle, and that's really just going to frame everything out. And these are going to be some big projects, and I can't wait to start working on them, honestly. But for now, we're done. This took quite a while, and well, I gotta start planning for the next one. So I will see you dudes really soon. I hope you all enjoyed, and I truly hope you guys all have an amazing day. Later, guys. Welcome to Chapter 10 of our hardcore series. We're at over 1,500 days now, and our golems are just down there, just, still spreading the skulk. They never really stop. They're good workers. They're hard workers. Yeah, they are. And, well, with every episode, we have so much things to do and not enough time to do them. But we're going to try to get as much done as we can. So we do start this off just by just doing a few chores, because we have to, and I wanted to talk to you peoples anyways. Now, the footage is going to be a little different in this episode because I only have so many tools in my toolbox, with some of the software being down that has not updated yet. But it is what it is, and I'll try to make it as awesome as I can for you peoples. But yeah, we need to build a city. We need to finish our zoo, and we got a whole lot of adventuring we want to do this chapter. I also built this little basalt farm here. I couldn't really show the footage because, well, it was really wonky the way I recorded it. But yeah, I'll show off where I put this in the steampunk city in a little bit. So we start off by making ourselves a new pew because our starter bow is wore out and it's very undergeared. And we have a whole lot of things that we want to shoot. right in the face, and probably almost die like 50 times too. But anyways, we start gathering up everything we need to make the absolute perfect bow. Some people don't like flame and punch on their bow. I do because, well, I don't want things getting close to me, and I use the flame to ignite TNT. Quite often, actually. We're not going to be doing that right now, but yeah, I wanted the perfect bow. So we had to give it an absolutely epic name, as we do with everything, and we get ready to go fight a whole lot of stuff. I need shulkers, I need wither roses, there's lots of things I need. So we're going to go and do a whole lot of fighting. The OG bow we've had since pretty much the beginning of the game, I think chapter 2 maybe, served us quite well. Or maybe we made this thing in chapter 3 before we fought the Ender Dragon. I don't really remember. It's been a lot of days playing this game, but it needed a place to just kind of hang its head and be framed forever. But we get ready to go into the end to do some fighting. We need lots of shulker boxes. That's really all we want. We do not care about the end loot. We are already in ultimate gear. But yeah, the boxes, maybe a couple extra elytras to put in the adventure box, just in case we get low while we're out adventuring. We don't have to waste time just killing mobs for no reason. But yep, so we head off and look for some cities. And, well, shulkers come very, very slow. So this is going to be a fight. Head into our first new city. We start a game of how many times will Hooligan almost die today? And, well, the answer is always almost a lot. Yeah, usually. But right here, we go straight up Matrix on all these little spitballs these guys are throwing at us. I don't know if they changed the hitbox on how you break them, but this seemed way easy. Either that or I'm not as bad as I thought I was at this game. But more than likely they changed the hitboxes, because I just don't ever remember being able to hit them that easy. But I'm not complaining, because they're really, really annoying. Now, these cities generally aren't that bad, if you don't, like, get too cocky. You keep eating your golden carrots, and you should be fine. Now, I often underestimate how many projectiles can be coming at me at once. And, well, they add up pretty quick. I actually just shot myself right there, because I'm super, super good at this game. And we get down to 3 hearts. That's our first close call, because I am not wearing my totem right now, because I want the extra looting for the shulker shells. And yeah, we actually get back down to 4 hearts before we, we heal back up and go back into the fight again. But yeah, I mean, it's worth the risk for the shells, I guess. If I didn't need the shells so much, I probably would be holding my totem, but I really need shells. Oh my gosh, this inventory sucks. Like, I really wish they did an inventory update. Like, I would pay money for it, like, legitly. I would pay for an update just for their expansion of the inventory. Absolutely. But we just keep heading on, and we're about to do a big montage of just murdering a lot of things. And, well, there's some close calls and some good fights, so I hope you enjoy. All right, so that was annoying and fun at the same time, but we got some pretty good fights in, and we only got 60 shells. Now that only equals out to be about 30 boxes. I could use like 1,000 times more than that, but we got what we got. Now we're gonna take all these boxes and we're gonna go fill them all up with eggs. And you might be wondering, dude, what do you need that many eggs for? It's because we are gonna go and summon the Wither again. Except this time we are gonna put a ridiculous amount of chickens in the hole and poison them. And when them bad boys grow up and the Wither pops, they're all gonna become Wither roses, and we're gonna use those for so many farms. But to do that, well, we have to go do a lot more fighting. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the action, because it ain't stopping just yet. We start gathering up all the things we need to get these roses. We end up filling up about 9 shulkers full of eggs. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many roses that's going to get us, but I'm betting it's going to get us quite a few. But yeah, we're just getting everything ready. The eggs are only part of it, because we need some other things too, like making up these poison potions, splash poison potions to be specific. I almost got tongue-tied there. Splash poison. Anyways, with Englishes. Yeah, so we get these things whipped up, and we are almost geared. We still have to get ourselves some wither skulls. It's going to be annoying, but it's also going to be fun. Oh yes, that is a lot of supplies. We already have all the redstone stuff we need ready. Now, these skulls are not coming easy. Big dumb brain, forgot to start recording the first part of it. We did get 1 skull, and that took about 20 minutes. Now, we grind on these guys for quite a while. Now, unlike the end, we do want some of the other loot. We wouldn't mind the bones, we wouldn't mind the coal, and we wouldn't mind some of the blaze rods. All really useful things. We're already here anyways, might as well get what we can and just leave the junk behind. But yeah, we just get to fighting, we get to mobbing. It's actually pretty fun. I definitely prefer this than fighting in the end. Oh my, I hate levitation. It's so annoying. Like, I wish there was a way to just negate it, like maybe lose some protection somehow, like weighted boots that won't let you levitate, but you, I don't know, lose the protection off of them. Kind of like you what do you get? Be able to walk on powdered snow with leather. That'd be a really cool idea. I actually think they should add that type of stuff to the game. Like, it'd give more incentive to wear other armors besides diamond and netherite. But we just get to stunting on these guys. We actually pull off some pretty cool moves. I'm just going to say, like, I don't consider myself to be the best combat player, but there's some cool moves I pull off, especially against the Ghast in this one. But yeah, once again, we are going to just montage this out, but don't worry. That was a double negative. Don't worry. This is not all we're doing, because we have lots and lots of building to do. Yeah, actually, after this, we are getting on our grind. So let's get these skulls and get this done. Alright, finally, let's get out of here. Alright, so we have lots and lots of eggs for, those good old wither roses we're going to use for some farms. Some splash potions of poison to, get them chickens weak. Some soul sand, and we finally got our wither skulls. And of course the redstone to make these all automate. But dang, our new bow took a serious beating. Like, I don't know how many arrows I shot, but it was a lot. I mean, our other bow was still our original bow, and it was still in okay shape. Whatever. That was pretty fun. Let's go get a ton of wither roses. So we start getting our hole of doom set up, and we want to come back here at some point, and we want to just dig out all of the end stone and all the obsidian. But I have to come up with an idea of what to do if I do that, because that's going to take tens and tens and tens of real life days. But I'm willing to commit to it if I can come up with a good idea. So if anybody has any suggestions that hasn't been done before, I'll give it a shot. But we set up our little egg shooting machine, and it's pretty mesmerizing if I'm being honest. I have no idea how many chickens are in here or will be in here, but there's going to be a whole lot. Weirdly enough, though, did not lag me at all. I really thought it was going to, but it did not. Some of the things we're actually going to use these wither roses for is our magma cream farm, because we can't use pillage or we can't use iron gallons because the pillagers will kill them. Being that we're going to use the spawner type. We're going to use it for, ironically enough, a wither skeleton farm, being that we had to go kill a bunch of wither skeletons to even do this in the first place, and a bunch of various other farms. But we poison up our chicky chicks here, and well, let me ask you all a question. Have you guys ever heard of a bath bomb? Yeah. How about a cocoa bomb? Hot cocoa bomb? Those are pretty tasty, right? Yeah. Let me ask you this, though. You guys ever heard of a chicken bomb? Well, in a second, you will have. And tell me that is not glorious. All right, so that is not a bad haul at all. I'm good with it. Yeah, we could do several farms with that. All right, now we have fought a whole lot of mobs, and it's been a lot of fun. But now it's time to build. I want to build a city around our castle, and I still have a lot of work to do on this castle. Man, I kind of forget about it sometimes. But I want to challenge myself. I want to try to use colors that I don't normally use. Kind of force myself out of my box, if you will. Because, well, I just like trying new things. It's fun. So we're going to go build a city and see what happens. Alright, now the start of this build is going to be a little wonky and all over the place. Because, well, I'm learning how to use a new way of recording. It's temporary, but for right now, it's what I have. I really hope my software for recording third person gets back up soon. Because while there are some cool things to doing it this way, it's definitely a lot more taxing on my brain because, well, I have to utilize two computers at once, which means I'm constantly messing up which keyboard I'm using and mouse and blah, 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 blah. But it's fine. Anyways, we get to terraforming this. And, well, your dude is not scared to terraform. I'll terraform all day long. I actually really enjoy doing it, honestly. But there is a little change we're going to be doing to some of our retaining walls. I'm adding some concrete powder into them, and I think I'm going to go back through the rest of them I already did and just add a little concrete powder in. I think it looks cool. I think it looks like it's an area that got damaged and patched up. Yeah, I think it looks kind of neat. Anyways, as we work on these walls, we kind of start thinking about what we want to do for our buildings. And as I had mentioned, I want to try different color palettes. Like this first building, I want to try to use brown terracotta. Now, I'm going to be honest, up until this point, I don't think I've ever even placed a block of brown terracotta in my entire Minecraft career. Ever. I don't think so. But, like I said, I'm trying to get out of my box and just try new things. I played around with it a little bit in creative, nothing too crazy because I like most of my stuff to be organic and on the fly. But I did test out a couple little palettes just to see how they would blend, how the gradient would work. I don't even know if my stuff's really technically considered a gradient. I just kind of do stuff and whatever happens, happens. But yeah, so this first house, it comes out pretty cool. I'm having second guesses about the spruce there. That might get changed later. But at the same time, we have like 50 houses to build, and they're not all going to get built today. I'm telling you that right now. This is a lot of work. This actually takes more work than some of the bigger projects because you have to really think a lot more about the details. As opposed to like whenever I was digging out the steampunk city, that took a lot of detail too. However, most of the time, it was mindless grinding and digging. And then we get to the point where we're actually building the buildings, and yeah, that took detail. But the actual just shaping of that city, that was more just putting in the work. This takes a lot of concentration and effort. But this is our first house, and I think it came out pretty cool. We start whipping up together some more buildings. Now, I wanted all these buildings to be somewhat unique. I mean, there's only so many shapes and colors you can use, but I wanted them to all have their own little bit of character. On this one, we start leaning hard into the greens and reds. Green terracotta, yeah, another one I've never really used. And honestly, I really like it. I like it better than the brown, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think the reds, the greens, and like the black trim really do go well together. Actually, I don't even know if I use black trim in this one. But anyways, yeah, we're going to give this thing a little porch outside and just some little bit of decor. We are not going to get to the zoo this episode. We might gather an animal or two at the end, just prepping for it. But man, we have already put in so much work that we are just simply almost out of time. But yeah, so we get to just kind of playing with some shapes, playing with some colors. And well, I kind of like it. A lot of times I second guess my builds before I'm done with them. And then when I'm done with them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So if I have to give anybody some advice, and not like I'm qualified to, but I'm gonna anyways, don't always doubt yourself. Just do stuff. If you want to build a giant pumpkin next to a marshmallow house, do it. This is Minecraft. It's a sandbox game. Just do whatever you want. That's kind of the charm of it. Anyways, on this next one, we're gonna go with darker trim and well, lighter colors, mostly different variations of white with dark trim. Yeah. And then on the other side, we're going to lean hard into a mud build, but we want to use a lot of dripstone in it. I feel like it gives a lot of texture, and well, I like to use dripstone for certain things, but I don't normally put them in buildings. In this one, I wanted to. I don't know. I wanted to see how it would come out, and well, it kind of did. Lots of dark trim on this one, just to contrast it out. And our whole idea here is to make this so cramped that it's a lived-in city, and we're going to build cool pathways in between the buildings with, just various, clutter around, benches, places for seats, tiny little farms, like a little gardens, and just make it really feel like if you were going to walk through a medieval city or any type of city, really, it would feel like, yeah, okay, people actually live here. That is the whole goal. Now, whether I actually put villagers in here or not, I don't know about that because they are really stupid. And unless I secure them somehow, they are all going to die. That's inevitable. Villagers die. They cannot stay alive. They are so dumb. I don't get it. The AI is just broken. But that's whatever. That's usually why I lock them up. I mean, you call me crazy or mean, but if they don't, they're going to die. But anyways, the second half of this little build, I kind of really dug it a little bit. I kind of just whipped it up on the fly, but I kind of like the flat roof. I normally don't do flat roofs, but the little chimney coming out of it, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. We're finally to the part of the building where we're just pulling everything together, basically connecting everything to make it feel really lived in. And right here, I wanted a little market stall, and I wanted to use wool, but it just did not look right. So I ended up going with some warped wood. I love warped wood. It's really cool. Mixes really well with dark prismarine. But yeah, so we are just going to build up a couple little buildings, and we are going to connect them all with some pretty paths. We're going to go and collect a little bit of moss in between and some other supplies that we need. But we are almost to the end of our building for this episode, and it has been quite a journey. Like, I had a lot of fun this episode. I know it was a little different, so I want to know what you guys thought about it. Like, yeah, replay map was down, so I couldn't do cool, flyby time lapses and things like that, but I did the best I could with what I had. I really want to know what you thought, though, because I didn't really think it came out that bad. I think some of it I actually really enjoyed the way it came out. So we are just going to pull this whole section of the city together after we gather up this moss, and, we're going to rock out to a little music, and I'll be back with you soon. We have a couple more things to do on this episode.
Hold up.
Oh, our city's looking cool. Let's do a little walkthrough. Don't pay attention to there. The interior's not done. Anyways, yeah, this is our city, and it looks really awesome. I'm loving it. A bunch of different types of buildings, and yeah, I'm digging it. We didn't quite get to the stable area and over here that we wanted to do, because we're just pretty much out of time for this one. But we're going to do it, and, well, this is the tip of the iceberg. This city is going to be massive, stretching all the way back behind the castle. It's been over 1,000 days since we updated our map, so we really wanted to see the difference of what we've done. So we go ahead and update it and lock the old one in. I tried to do this very carefully. I messed up on one map, and it unfortunately updated. But we just fly around and update everything, see what kind of pops up on our map. Now, a lot of our area is water, but eventually there will be stuff popping up there because, well, your dude's crazy, and I'm going to build some stuff in the water. Yep, you'll see. This update here is absolutely wonderful. Oh, it's our city, our steampunk city. It's probably my favorite thing I've done so far, although I am digging the expansion on the castle. And if you hear any background noise like banging, well, my foundation started leaking. So there's a crew here just smacking around concrete. I hope it doesn't come through that bad, but if it does, that's what it is. And our final little section of the update. is absolutely glorious. And we lock these maps in because we already made a duplicate for the next set. We'll probably update it again at maybe 2500. Alright, so here we are on day 1600. And our world's looking pretty freaking awesome, if I'm being honest. This is where we started on almost 500 days. I accidentally updated this section, so this all here wasn't supposed to be there. I forgot to lock that one, but it is what it is. But when you compare this to this, oh, we have done a whole lot of stuff. And you got to remember, the next expansion, city, all through here. Zoo, all through here. I'm going to do some crazy stuff in the ocean, too. You just watch. It's going to be wild. But this is where we're at on this episode. We're going to call it right here. We've done a whole lot of things, and, well, I got to end this one so I can start the next one. I truly hope everybody has had an awesome time and a great day, and I appreciate you dudes so much. And I will see you real soon. Bye, dudes. Well, hello, you wonderful people. Hooligan here yet again. And in this one, we're going to lean hard into the chill vibes. I'm kind of recovering for some problems with my wisdom teeth, and, well, my head's a little funky, a little wibbity wobbly. So we want to make some homes for lots of animals that we have in our zoo, and we want to go get a bunch of animals we don't have for our zoo and build them some really cool exhibits. Yeah, you might notice I might have like a little bit of a lisp. Well, that's because my jaw's all swollen up. But don't you worry, I'm gonna keep on rocking, and well, we're just gonna take it easy on this one. And it might be a little bit of adventure later, but right now we're gonna play with some animals and a bunch of other cool, fun stuff. Let's go. Now, we wanted to clear our head because we have a whole lot of work to do. We have a zoo to get done. We have a city to start, actually continue on because we already did a large portion of the city. And over this episode and the next one, we want to get both of those things finished. That is our goal. Do I know it's all going to happen? No, but I know we're going to work on both of them and do as much as we can. And we needed this area over here anyways. So we figured while we clear our head and just kind of get ready for what we need to do, might as well, multitask and do a little terraforming. So enjoy, and then right after this, we are going animal hunting. Wasting no time, we set off northeast because we know there is taigas over here, and there's also ice spike biomes, and well, lots of things that we want to collect. The first thing we're going to want to get is some polar bears, but we also need some of this snow and a bunch of the ice to make the exhibits, not just for the polar bears, but also for the goats that we're going to get and the foxes that we're going to get. And well, that's mainly the two things I really want it for. And I also want some extra in case I need to make some blue ice later. But yeah, so we just take a minute, we collect up some snow, we collect up some ice, and well, we get ready to go get some bears. Now, I was not 100% sure if this dude was going to try to eat me and attack me. I know that as long as the babies aren't around, they should be cool, but, you know, this is Minecraft. It could just decide to kill you because it wants to. Like literally. I don't know how many bugs I've almost died to in this game. But anyways, we get a couple of our little polar bears. Man, they're cute. I want some babies. I wish you could make them stay babies, but you can't. And these dudes have some really weird water interactions. It's pretty cool, actually. It is like just jump around. Pretty neat. You know, I never really come through here at night. Coming home, it looks pretty freaking awesome. We start getting our first habitat in, and we may expand these habitats a little bit as we go, as well as change some things, but right now we just want to get the basic idea of what the colors and the blocks we want to use for each animal's natural habitat, or at least as close to it as we can get. And we're going to come back in and add the walls, the detailing, the pathing, all that later. Our goal right now is just to get all our cool animals secured in their new locations. We'll make sure they all have enough room. Like this one right here, I'm probably going to expand it out a little bit, make it a little bit bigger for these polar bear boys. Next up, we have our new goat friends. And similar to the polar bears, I was not sure if these guys attack randomly or what. Now, it turns out as long as you don't stand still, they're pretty chill. But if you do, they get really grumpy and they charge you. They're kind of like bullies. But we start leading these guys home. I'm also trying to avoid the polar bears until we get into the water, because, once again, don't know if the polar bears will attack these goats. I assume they would. We get our next set of animal friends back home, and, well, we decided we want to whip up some name tags for the ones we already got. We are going with Grumpy and Samson for our goat friends. Yeah, I don't know why Samson. This seems like a goat name. And then for our polar bears, we're going with Timmy, and we are going with Jimmy. Yeah, I don't know. I just like that. And we are not going to build their habitats just yet. We are going to stick in full-on animal collection mode until we get a few more, because we don't need that many. And I want to get all the animals to complete this side of the zoo, and then build it all at once, I think. Now, we have one more set of animals we want for the colder section of the zoo, and that's the foxes. I don't know if I'll get the Arctic foxes. I probably will at some point, but right now, these are the ones we got. Now, this first little dude here, he's all about it. He gets leaded pretty easy. Now, a bug happens with the second one. You see that lead? Yeah, I've been chasing this dude all over the forest. That lead didn't actually connect. That was like a ghost lead. But he finally jumped in the water so I could get up close to him and just attach another lead. But you know me, I always talk about Minecraft bugs, and oh, there's one right there. At one point, I wasn't even sure if it was a ghost lead. I went like 20, 30 blocks away from him, and it was still attached, but he would not follow. Anyways, we go ahead and name up these dudes. We got Walter, and we got Trixie. Walter because, I don't know. Seems like a raccoon or a fox name. Whatever. But yeah, now we have all the animals for the cold section, so we can get to building this section of the zoo. Alright, so we have all our colder variants of animals over here, so we can do this section of the zoo. I also bred up this little baby fox, and when he grows up, he is going to work in a berry farm for me. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. But anyways, I need to go get a few resources. I'm going to use yet another block that I never really use. I need to go get a whole lot of coral, because we're going to be mixing some dead coral into the zoo walls. It's going to look really, really cool. Over by our raid farm, we stop at our coral reef, and we just start collecting up roughly about 2 stacks of each block. And I gotta say, every time I have to get coral, it really bums me out because of, you know, the state of the real-life coral reefs, but at least this is Minecraft and it's just a game. Alright, now, I'm hoping that's going to be enough, because I really don't want to decimate this whole coral reef. But we're going to be just using this sparsely mixed in with a whole lot of tuff and a whole lot of cobbled, mossy cobble. And it's going to look really cool with some deep slate trim. But now we have one last side mission before we get back to the zoo. I need some more rooted dirt. I am completely out, and well, I'm hoping I can find one in the desert. That way it's easily spotted. Now, deserts and badlands are the best places to spot azalea trees. However, there is a bug, I think it's a bug anyways, in deserts that if it spawns too high up, the sandstone breaks the, I don't know, the generation, and it stops producing rooted dirt. Luckily, we had a badlands pretty close, so we just hopped over to another tree, and yet another one, because that other one ended pretty quick. But yeah, so I really hope they introduce a way to make rooted dirt renewable. Like, why can't I take hanging roots and combine it with dirt and make rooted dirt? It makes complete sense. But it's Minecraft and they're going to do what they do. But I really do think that's a good idea. I mean, it makes 120% total sense. Yeah, Minecraft, have you ever watched this? Listen. Yeah, just listen to me. Alright, so that's a decent amount of rooted dirt. So we're going to head on home because, well, I forgot some of my supplies. I don't have my bow, and, well, I just don't want to go into a cave without my bow. The animal collection just keeps on growing. We got ourselves some mushrooms, and, well, they're a little bit exotic, so I figured, yeah, they can have a little spot in the zoo. I will never, ever do anything with these guys. I can't think of anything I would do. But we named them Old Bessie and Clarabelle. And we also collect up some of the mycelium when we got them too, so we can build their habitat. And next one up is the llamas. And we found ourselves 2 white llamas. And we get to taming them up. Now, I didn't see any brown ones. If I randomly see one while I'm adventuring, I might bring it home. I might not. I don't really have much use for these guys. But they're kind of exotic, so they're going to go in the zoo too. Well, this one's going to be a land journey, so I'll talk to you guys when we get back home. We have collected quite a few animals, and now it is time for a building break. Let's get to it. Operation Zoo Phase 1 is a go. We're making a little changes here to our polar bear exhibit because, well, that fence was just ugly. I don't know why I put it there in the first place. Now, this wall here, it's going to look a little goofy at first because, well, until the trim comes in, it's just going to look goofy because it all kind of has to go together or it doesn't work. But I did take some inspiration from my local zoo as far as the mosaic, because I'm not even sure if that's the right word. But yeah, we get our little fox habitat built here, and I'm leaning into the taiga version of it because we already have 2 snub exhibits anyways. We're going to be having the goats and the polar bears in various versions of a snow biome. But we get our little foxy dudes in here, and man, are these dudes cute when they like sleep under a tree or pick up something in their mouth. They're really cool. And here's the trim I was telling you guys about. When it comes in and we add a couple campfires, a little bit of walls, a little bit of fencing, that's where it really starts to pop. And I'm really starting to dig it. Now, in this next little part here, we really lean into the green terracotta again. I'm really liking it. It contrasts really good with deep slate also. But this is our little entrance, and we're going to make a little diagonal archway where you would be coming into the zoo. But yeah, I had fun with it. New color palettes are really something I'm starting to dig. I was always locked into the idea that you have to put certain blocks together or it doesn't work. Well, I'm starting to learn that's kind of BS because it can work. You just got to just keep playing with it. Sometimes even convince yourself it does work, and then eventually it does. But we're going to rock this zoo out, and I will get back to you real shortly. We have 4 exhibits in. And this one here is obviously our polar bears. And that wandering trader, he's really lucky that these polar bears are not aggro, because he's a dum-dum and jumped right in there with them. Yeah. And then we got our cute little foxes. Oh, look, I think he's sleeping over there. Yeah, I'm going to make a cool farm with some of these foxes a little bit later. Little turtle habitat. These guys don't seem to be growing, but I think it's just a matter of time. I don't know. And then our goats. Yeah. I really did not want to put a roof on this, but I had to, because these dudes can jump like 8 blocks. I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, but one of them escaped 3 times. So I was like, all right, well, you're getting a roof. And then, of course, we got our future projects. We're going to do some more this chapter, for sure. But right now, I want to take a little break from that, and I want to just whip up a quick little hostile mob habitat right here. That way, the next time it's nighttime... Oh, little baby kitty. Yeah, that distracted me. Then we can start luring in some of our hostile mobs. And we need to get some of them from the nether as well. So, I think I'm going to risk my life a little bit as soon as we build this halfway up. We're not going to do the top portion, because we want to leave that open to, get the mobs in. So we're going to build the bottom half so we can start collecting them as we get the opportunity to. Yeah, let's do it. Now, this is where all the big bag minis are going to go. And, we are going to lean hard into mud brick and mushroom block for the walls, and also lean hard into deep slate and variations of it for the trim. Now, all we care about right now is getting these stalls set up to put these jerks in that want to eat us or kill us, or a combination of those two things. But yeah, that's our plan, and that's what we're going to do. And we also need to go and protect our turtles, because right now it's just an open hole that zombies could fall into and, well, squish them. And we don't want that. So we do go ahead and just block that off because, well, we have to go capture some mobs. And I do not want those turtles to get broked. They're cute. Capturing the first minis actually goes pretty well. I honestly, I was a little surprised, because how often do things go this well whenever you're doing something like this in Minecraft? Not very often. I don't know how many times you try to do this and all of a sudden all your villagers are eaten and somehow your base explodes even though there was no explosions. It's a wild game. But we do capture 3 of these boys, and we give them some names. And nobody's going to get the reference. Yep, because I'm old. Yep, nobody's going to get it. I will say that these guys were some stooges and would not cooperate. And there's 3 of them. Next up for the Hall of Jerks, we're going to need ourselves a Crimson Forest. Luckily, we have one really close to our little hub here. And, my favorite thing in this game, absolutely, is angry pigs. If you have watched this far, you know I freaking hate piglins. Not even just the brutes, just piglins in general. They're so annoying. But it is satisfying wiping them out. Now, we wanted to get ourselves a zombie zoglin. What are they? Hoglin that turns into a zoglin. Yeah, I know stuff. And this dude here, he was having none of it. Like, I don't know what his deal was. I tried for like 4 minutes, and he just didn't want to have anything to do with me. But, whatever, he's a snob. Jerk. His friend, though, really, 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 really wanted to punt me off into some lava. But that's okay. That's what we wanted. Makes him a good follower. Working our way back home with this angry pig. We did pick out a name for this guy. You couldn't really see it right there that well, but his name is Ziggy. No real reason, just random brain stuff. But yeah, we pull him through and we start getting him home. And let me tell you, this guy is a freaking jerk. Like, a really, really big jerk. You're going to see. He follows just fine. That's not the problem. He zombifies right there, and he's still about eating me or punting me or well, I don't even know what they do. But as I'm setting up his trap, he goes and kills Bessie. Yes, and Clarabelle. So we're going to need ourselves some new mushrooms, and I really like those names, and I don't want to double them up, so I need to find some new names for our new ones. But we do get him trapped. And, yeah, he's a jerk. Zigga, my dude, I'm very, very disappointed in you. No brains for you tonight. Well, maybe a few, but not a lot, alright? Jerk. Because Ziggy's a grumpy pants, we gotta go get some new mushrooms. And these are actually the last two on this island, this little tiny island close to our base. I'm not sure how they respawn, but whatever. Also, did anybody else get the new cape? If you haven't, go get that, dude. It's awesome and it's free. Alright, so stupid Minecraft made me mad. I like to come up with classy names. Well thought out. Well, I'm not doing that right now. We got our replacement mushrooms, and we got the cow says quack, and we got double cheeseburger. Stupid Minecraft interactions. Now, this little portion here isn't technically part of the zoo. This is going to be our stables. Now, I actually did this before I even started on the zoo. This is actually one of the first things I did when I started this episode. But I decided I didn't want to have it at the beginning. No real reason why. I just decided I didn't want to. That's how my brain works. And, well, this is going to house our non-exotic animals, our horses, various horses, our donkeys, our mules. And we're never actually going to utilize them for the purpose they are in Minecraft. We just want to have some in our stable, because once you have an elytra and shulkers, what's the point of having a horse or a mule that can carry things for you when you can literally just carry it all yourself? But you do lose out on some of the charms of Minecraft once you hit in-game. It's both a bummer and awesome at the same time, because flying and shulkers, absolutely awesome. But some of the charm just gets lost because you forget about mobs and certain other things that you'd care more about earlier in the game. But I really like this because it ties in the city area. And we're also going to work on the wall into the city here in a second too. Just getting that whole little section finished up. And as far as the details in here, I'll probably do it off camera. I'm going to come in and add some different pathing in here and some little places for the horsies and whatnot to kind of really feel at home. And our standard wall, nothing really all that fancy here. It's just the same wall we've been using for most of our retaining walls throughout the game. There's going to be some other sections that we're going to vary off from that type of wall, but from right now, we're keeping it uniform. Deciding to just take a minute and finish up this section here, because this section will finish off the keep. It'll finish off the connection to the city, to the castle, and the connection to the tavern. So I just wanted to go ahead and get it done, detailed up, built a little wagon, and then we're going to put a little field here. I want to do this field different because, well, I just do a lot of wheat fields, carrot fields, things like that, but I wanted this one to be pitcher pod and torch flowers. But I didn't want it to be completely full, because that would just be way, way too much. So I wanted to do just like a diagonal pattern and then clutter it up with some different dirts and use a little bit of bone meal to make it look like it's overgrown just a little bit. Everything we do gets us closer to 2,000 days. We're actually at 1,726 right now. And in addition of that little field there, this pathing to tie everything in, finishing off this wall, and our little cart up here, our little pod. How's this pod field even look? Okay, as it grows in, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's all coming together. It's all tying together. Also, I want to stop and say hi to my doggies. Yeah, I really need to go fight some stuff with these guys. I think I'm going to do that soon. Did I lose one? No, they're all there. But before we get back to the last bits of this episode, before we get ready for part 2 of this adventure, I want to show you some stuff I did off camera. Stuff that I couldn't really show that well because of the way I have to record right now. But I added some farms. Let me show you. Now, right under our fox habitat, we have a little sweetberry farm. I'm not sure how good it's doing. I just turned it on, so that's not too bad. I don't even think this guy's hungry yet. And these things haven't even grown. But yeah, it should passively collect us sweet berries that we can. Well, we're never gonna eat them, but we can trade them for emeralds or whatever else. I don't know. It's another farm to the collection. And the other 2 farms, no, I'm sorry, 3 farms are over at the Steampunk City. Let's go take a look. Man, every time I fly into this place, I just feel happy. Alright, so our next one's here. We have basalt. And we have cobble and stone. No idea if I will ever need to use this one, but if I do, it's here. This one here, though, is going to be very useful. I love basalt, and I hate mining it in the nether. And then up here, we have our glow lichen farm. Oh yeah, just put bone meal in there, and it fills up the glow lichen right here, shear it, and it works really well. Anyways, let's get back to a couple more habitats before we have to call this one. Well, it's a sad, sad day, my dudes, my peoples, my friends. The OG pandas that we've had since almost the beginning of our series here, we make a grave mistake with them. Yeah, we're trying to get them out of the boats, and that one goes fine. And yeah, as we go to get that guy out of the boat, the other one jumps in, and I can't find the hitbox. And I make an oopsie once, and an oopsie twice. Yeah, that happened. Anyways, ain't nothing I can do about it now. So we're going to go ahead and get these habitats whipped up for the pandas and the ocelots. And this might be the last set of habitats we do for this portion of the episode. Or I should say this episode in general, because this is going to be a 2-parter. It's just too much work to get done in one. But anyways, sad times. But we go ahead and get the habitat up for some new pandas that we're going to have to go get in probably the slowest journey that's ever existed. And yeah, that one came together pretty easy, as well as this one. I wanted to vary them just a little bit. I didn't want a whole lot of bamboo in with the ocelots, though, because I tend to see them more in the normal jungle. Yeah, nothing really too fancy with these, though. These are actually more of the straightforward ones I've done so far as the placement and tying them into the rest of the zoo. So I was pretty happy with the outcome. And the rest of the habitats we have to do, we pretty much already got all the animals for them, besides a few select ones that are going to be really hard to get. So in the next episode, we're going to be ready just to straight rock that out. Now, we did have to get us some new pandas. Unfortunately, I couldn't find myself a playful one. And as much as I want a lazy one, it would take 9 years to get them home. But whatever. We got ourselves a regular one, and we get this guy back home. Yeah, I mean, all the pandas are cute. I just have my preferences. You know, I really like the lazy and the playfuls. This time I turned on hitboxes, because I wanted to be very sure. And I remembered why I accidentally one-shot those pandas, because they should have survived. It's because, if you remember, one of them actually died from poison from pufferfish. And I'm guessing the other ones had no health and just had 0 chance of living. And that wandering trader was a jerk and really just interrupted our little exhibit there. But whatever. We did find a sick one, which is really, really cute. I like their eyes. Yeah, I'm still probably going to go try to find a playful one at least, but I'm not doing that right now. No. We get this guy home and we're calling this done, because this took forever. Well, yeah, this is dedicated to the loss of Barnaby and Captain Snugglepants, our OG pandas. But his brethren right here will carry on the legacy. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, we are pretty much to the end of our episode. We have gotten a whole lot done, and I want to show you what I have plans for the next one. This says rabbit. It is not going to be rabbits. I think that's more of a farm animal. So this is going to be a strider exhibit. And I'm going to bring in some lava. It's going to be pretty cool. And of course, our hostile mob exhibit. This is very, very not done. Has no detail, no roof, no anything else. It's going to be a grand, evil-looking structure, though. Makes sense, right? Over here, this is going to be like a little birdie exhibit. A lot of glass, dome it out. Be pretty cool. And our little mushroom exhibit here, that should be pretty easy. Actually, most of the last ones we had to do, we already have the animals, and the exhibits are going to be very, very easy because of the natural habitat of the animals. The armadillos, savanna-ish, llamas, hillside, camels, desert, pretty straightforward. Skeleton horses, I'll just make it look really like rotten and dead. And, well, this here is probably going to be the most intricate one to do because this is going to be our aquarium. And, well, I'm excited to do it. But other than that, we are really, really ready to get the zoo done and move on to the city with our beautiful blank canvas here. Tons and tons of houses. I'm thinking maybe like possibly a coliseum. I definitely want to put a museum in the residential area. It just seems fitting that that would be in the residential area. But anyways, this is about as far as we go. This took a whole lot of time, especially with me not feeling the greatest. But don't you worry, I'm actually feeling pretty good now. And we are going to rock this out on the next one. And I hope you all enjoyed. And I hope you all check out the second part. I am having so much fun doing this. It's really been a blast. I appreciate it, and, well, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Well, welcome back, you beautiful people. I'm just sitting here getting some advice from Delta Squadron here. Yeah, they haven't been uniformed up yet, but they all agree that I just need to shut up and get straight to building on this one. So guess what? That's what we're going to do. Let's go build a zoo. You guys stay here. Now, we are not trying to waste any time in this episode because I want to see what this zoo looks like when it's fully done. I kind of just randomly do each exhibit as I go, and I don't really have that much of a plan to begin with. I just kind of do it and see what happens. But we are going to get this entire thing done on this chapter, with the exception of some of the hostile mobs, because I have no idea how I'm going to capture a ravager or how I'm going to lure a strider in. Well, not lure, ride them in, but my nether portals are so high up that I don't know how I'm going to get a strider back home. But I'll figure it out. But our next habitat is our froggies. Now, I didn't really want to have to enclose these guys all the way in, but I didn't really have a choice because these dudes can jump all the way to the top of that tree. That actually might be a problem later. I'm not really sure. But we are going to finish this up, and it's not all going to just be jungle. We're going to come in right about here in just a second and add some mud in there. Just a little bit, just to vary up the color a little bit, or the pattern, I should say. But we need to do this and build a couple more habitats, and then we are going to go on a little adventure, because I do not have any dark prismarine, and I want to use a fair amount of dark prismarine in the aquatic habitat. And I also have no animals to go in the aquatic habitat. Kind of can't have a habitat without the animals, so yeah, I need to do that. But yeah, this froggy exhibit is really, really fun to watch, though. These guys just jump from lily pad to a big drip leaf, and then they're pretty fun. They're one of the more entertaining mobs in the game, in my opinion, anyways. But yeah, our little froggy habitat is done. And then we move on to the llamas, the llama habitat. And we're leaning hard into the greens on this one again. I don't know why, I just really like it. And I feel like it breaks up the color of the mud, because I didn't want this whole wall to just be mud. But anyways, I'm just going to shut up for a minute, and we're going to rock this out, and then we're going to go adventure. Already, two of the frogs are stuck in the tree, and this third one's trying to get up there. Are they gonna come back down? I don't know. Might have to change that. Anyways, pretty cool little habitat. Let's see what else we did. This one over here, it was supposed to be like a windswept forest. At least that's what I was going for. I wanted something different, a little variation, and I didn't want to do it the savanna because our armadillos that are going to go right there, that's going to be a savanna habitat. And then, of course, our camels. And these guys were just spinning on the bushes. Like, I wonder if they'll do it again. Let's see. Pretty cool when they do. But anyways, both these guys really like these bushes, and they just get dance partying when they get on top of them. It's pretty funny. But right now, we need to go and get a few supplies, because that exhibit needs some resources. So it's adventure time. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Dance party. Hey, he's such a happy boy. Where we've been digging our moat, or whatever you want to call it, that's going to section off our capital from the rest of the world, is actually the better of the lush caves we found on Chapter 2. Like, man, how long ago was that? Like, 1,400 days ago or something. Maybe even more. But yeah, anyways, we're in here, and we're just, punching zombies in the face, things like that. And we're only here for a few things, really. We want some ocelotls, a variation of them. Hopefully they stay the variation that I pick them up as. We are here for spore blossoms, small drip leaves, and I didn't actually need this clay. I got that so I could pillar up to the spore blossoms, and just being constantly interrupted by zombies. But that's okay. We've already lit up a fair portion of this cave, because we had already planned on coming back and exploring this at some point anyways. And we find our first ocelot, and it's a yellow one. He's pretty cool. Kind of looks like Pikachu. And I don't know if he's going to stay that way, though. I could have swore I got two different color ones on Chapter 2. When I put them in the pond, they were not the same color. And we discovered a couple little fishies, and I know I could just get these guys in the ocean, but I was already here, and I had a whole lot of buckets on me, so why not? And like I said, small drip leaves, you get them every time you see them. You have to use shears on them, because they are so pretty, and they are very rare compared to the big ones. And don't ever try to bone meal them, because they will just become the big ones, and they'll be ugly. Yeah. And those pretty pink flowers. We actually, pretty pink flowers. Oh, I can use words. We actually get quite a few of these. I know it's only like 6 or something, but when you're talking about spore blossoms and how annoying they are to get, it's not bad. It's really not bad. We also found ourselves another geode, but I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it because, well, I have the one over at the Steampunk City. But, yeah, we had a pretty decent little haul. And we say we're going home. And we just take a quick little peek at everything we've done so far. Oh my gosh, look at this zoo. Look how it's coming. Alright, that little lush cave adventure went pretty good. We got at least 5 different tropical fish. We got some salmon, some cod. A bunch of different colored ocelotls. Hopefully they maintain their variations. I swear there's a bug with that. And we also got some of these beautiful blossoms and these drip leaves. Because anytime you see them, you gotta get them. Because you can't make them. And now we need dark prismarine. And we're ready to keep on rolling on our zoo. Let's go. Now, I have raided a whole lot of ocean monuments in my day. And in this series, we've gotten close to death several times. This right here is by far the closest I have gotten to thinking the series was over. Yeah, like this gets really, really scary. Just watch. It's like every laser, it just goes off at the same time. I get down to 1 heart, and I barely get the rocket off as the last laser was going off. I honestly do not know if the totem would have saved me. But we had to just go in full just rethink mode here, because that had my anxiety spiked pretty high. So we decided, you know what, let's be smart and let's go covert ops stealth mission on this. Yeah, why not? Well, why rush it? We'll be fine. So since we got the Spoon of Dread, it's going to take 9 years to break into this place. But it is the safer of the options, because down here in this little crevice, I can only get hit by 1 or 2 of them, and the golden carrot will take care of that. And we start getting our revenge on these annoying spiky fishies. Now, I'm just going to spoil something here real quick, because I don't really feel like hiding secrets. Hiding secrets? Keeping secrets. We are going to probably in the next couple episodes, maybe not next one, maybe the one after, are going to come back here and we're going to drain this ocean monument. And we are going to make a little base here, as well as make a little village on the mushroom island that's literally right next to it. Anyways, one big bad fishy down, and then two big fishy down. And we need to find that last guy so we can drink our milk and get rid of this spoon of dread. And unfortunately, this monument did not have any sponges, like not a single one besides the one you get from the Guardians, the Elder Guardians. But it is whatever, you know, it's all we really wanted was the Dark Prismarine anyways. Yeah. Once again, I wish there was a way to renew sponges. You know, it's a pretty valuable resource, so I think the cost would have to be pretty high on it, whatever it would be. But I really do not like things not being renewable. But we collect up as much Dark Prismarine as we can and we get out of here. I didn't show a lot of it, but we pretty much raided everything we could without getting shot. And we are ready to go home. And man, were those fishies angry at me. Like, holy crap. I've never been down to 1 heart from an ocean monument before. Like, I don't know, like, if the local difficulty was really high at the time or something. But, man, they just beamed the crap out of me. But it is what it is. And we got out alive, so that's not so bad. And we got 5.5 stacks of Dark Prismarine. The only thing we really wanted. I mean, these two things here are a bonus. But that should be enough to get our build going. So, let's go do that. We did have one little quick super dupity chore real quick, though. One of our camels is spinning and the other one escaped. There might be a flaw in my habitat. Anyways, yeah, so this is the copper fields. Yep, I'm gonna have to make an aging facility for this at some point because it takes a lot of space. Yeah. Alright, let's go rescue this camel and then build a new habitat. And if there's any newer players out there or just more casual players, the reason I did this is because it's much easier to oxidize your copper and then use an axe to bring it to the shade you want later, as opposed to just place it and wait for it to turn, because sometimes it can take a really long time. So we rescue our silly camels, them and their dance parties, and we have to add another layer to the glass. Now, I do think this is going to fix it. Who knows, though, because I've been wrong many times. And this is going to be a little bit bigger than we originally planned, so we removed a portion that we were going to have like a little tower to make room for it. But we'll still have plenty of room for the other exhibits. Now, normally I just kind of freestyle stuff. In this one, I did go in creative and just test out some color palettes. Not like light Matica or anything like that. Just put a test scenario together and see if the colors were going to work. And I'm actually vibing with it. It actually ends up being one of my favorite exhibits. I might say it might end up being my absolute favorite. But who knows? We're not done with it yet. The ocelotls, their swimming animations are just, I love to watch them go. They're really cool. But yeah, so we are going to just rock this out real quick. We're going to play a little music, and then we're going to get right back into finishing the zoo. I said I was going to finish it, and guess what? It's going to blow your mind. But your boy is actually going to keep his promise. Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Yep. So I'll see you guys in a minute.
Hey, hold up.
So we have our aquarium, and I think it came out pretty awesome. It's definitely more modern than the rest of the buildings I've done so far, but you can't always just do the same thing. You got all our little fishies over here. I tried to get as many varieties as I could, but we'll probably add some more later. And we got the 4 ocelotls. I'm probably not going to do the crazy thing and try to get a blue one. But then again, who knows? If I survive to 10,000 days, I'm going to have, want something to do. But for right now, these are the ones we got. And now, we are going to go get ready to go on a tiny little adventure. I'm going to see if I can get a strider back here without dying to lava or various other things in the nether that want to kill me. Yeah, let's do that. Taking a second to get all our supplies set up, we get a whole lot of buckets. This isn't even all the buckets, because we want to spill up about roughly 3 to 4 shulkers full of lava, because we're going to need them for the habitat. And we also make ourselves a fungus on a stick, and for whatever reason I put unbreaking on it. I'll probably never ever use this thing again, but I also didn't know how long it would last. And since your dude almost dies to lava like every time he goes to the nether, I did decide to make some fire resist potions. It's just a smart call. We gather up as much lava as we have space for. We do end up getting 3 shulkers, I believe. Maybe a few little extra bits here and there. I'm hoping this is going to be enough. I'm just going to have to make it be enough. Because I don't really want to have to come back here and get more lava. And our lava farm over at the Steampunk City, it's awesome for what we need it for, but it is not going to produce quickly enough to do what we're trying to do. But this should be roughly about a stack of normal blocks if you put it all together, and that should be enough for a habitat. Now, we go ahead and just play it safe. We take our potion, and we jump right into the lava, just saddling this boy up. Now, this is the first time ever that I've ridden a strider. Didn't really know what to expect, but it was actually pretty cool. These guys are pretty quick once you get the fungus going. They're not too bad. It was actually a little bit of fun. But we went over and checked over where our another hub was, and there was no way up. So we decided we just had to just dig a path and just go the land route. And just wrecking our head again and again and again. We also adjust our path there and say, you know what, it might be smarter just to lead this dude. The suffocation wouldn't have killed me, but it wasn't exactly fun either. And we get him to the portal and we get him home. And we get really lucky because, well, it's not raining, it's not nighttime. It was a good time to bring this dude through. We did be very careful to avoid all our ponds and whatnot on the way through. And we just get this dude set up because, well, his habitat's not ready yet. So that's the next thing we need to do. We got really lucky. Because I'm pretty sure this rain would have killed our boy right there. That was just in time. You did good, buddy. You did good. You kind of look like a crazy mad scientist right now, but as soon as I get your habitat built up, you're going to be having fun. You just chill out here, literally. Now, we still got to get some mobs for the hostile habitat. But for right now, we're focusing on the last 4 exhibits we have for this entire zoo. And we're going to do them all right here in super duper speedy mode. What you're going to see is probably a couple minutes. Took me 3 real life hours. And honestly, each habitat still has some details that needs to be added in later. But right now, we just want to get their homes built to somewhat completion. So we can get these mobs in here, and we'll come up and patch up a couple details later. And this is our Strider exhibit. We'll call it the Strider Relaxation Spa. We use some warp nylium, plus some other little nethery blocks, some magma, some lava, a little bit of a salt. Just make it feel like the edge of a nether biome. And this is where our Strider's going to come in here and just lounge out all day in the lava. At least that's what I hope he does. I don't know. AI in this game's broken. So yeah, that's the first one done, and we start working on our little wall here, and we move that into the new mushroom. Now, these next couple habitats are going to be pretty basic as far as their design, because they're exotic animals, but they're also kind of livestocky, I'll say. And I just couldn't really think of anything to add because the mushrooms, I wanted it to be like their natural biome, but let's be for real, there's not really much in the mushroom's natural biome. A couple mushrooms and some more mushrooms. So we did mushrooms because mushrooms. Now the sniffer, I had no reference. It's not anything close to. I guess it's close to a dinosaur. So I don't know. I just kind of did like a mossy. Uh, I don't even know what this is. I'm not even gonna BS and try to tell you that I do. I don't know what it is. But one thing's for sure, it's something. Yes, it is. And once again, these guys are really annoying to lead. Now, the armadillo habitat. We were gonna go savanna. We completely changed our mind because, well, I just couldn't figure out how I wanted to make it look like a savanna. So we went with the wooded badlands version. Well, this is my idea of a wooded badlands. I wanted to be a little unique on it though, so I wanted to make some custom trees, and I wanted to use dark oak for the trunks, and I wanted to use spruce for the leaves because spruce has the darkest color palette for leaves and not anything too crazy on the trees. I just wanted to make it look natural. Couple trees, make it look a little dead. Yeah, I thought it came out okay. And this one we did want to enclose. The only real reason I wanted to enclose it is because there was already too much open space in this area, anyways, and I wanted to kind of just have a center point that all the other exhibits could kind of just like connect around, and it came out all right. Now, this last one is the skeleton horse, and I just winged it. I winged it. I changed a bunch of things, but one thing I knew from the beginning is I wanted it to look really dead. And not like the skeleton horses are evil, but kind of like they corrupt everything else. So we end up using, a variation of just dead looking blocks, but we also use some of the coral. Not the coral blocks, though. We do use some of that in the wall, but we use some of the regular coral, and it dies once you plant it, and it looks like dead bushes. Like the skeleton horses had just basically tried to kill the vegetation that's around. Now, I went in creative because I wasn't sure, and I wanted to see if these guys could survive to wither roses. And at first I thought they could in my test world where I just kind of test like farms and stuff. Well, it turns out I was in peaceful, and if I would have put the wither roses in there, it would have killed them. So we build this dude an entire, habitat, and he just wants to stand on that one magma block. Yeah, he doesn't move. Like, wouldn't be so grumpy if he just got in the lava, bro. Ugh, whatever. You do you, man. We also added a couple new froggies in here. I just bred them up. I wasn't sure which ones were going to grow up here. But yeah, and I don't think they can make it up to the tree anymore because I added some extra leaves up top. But yeah, all our normal habitats are done. But there's something missing big time. There's no pathing. There's no details. It all needs to be tied in. So that is what we still need to do, and we're gonna do it. And also, we have floating platforms everywhere. We can't be having that. So we are gonna go right back into super speedy mode, and well, we're gonna make this place look really pretty. But before we do, I want to show you what I want to do. A couple new ideas for the hostile mob habitat. Also, I need to add some like decorations in here, but whatever. We're gonna get a wither skeleton in here. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'm going to. And once again, I'm gonna get a guardian in here. Don't know how I'm gonna do that one either, but I'm going to. Yeah, bet. Let's go build stuff. Our zoo is finally done. Well, with the exception of a few things in the hostile mob habitat. But oh my gosh, I know it has been a lot of building and a lot of craziness this episode. And I'm curious as to who stuck it through, because I was even getting worn out as I was doing it. But man, I love this zoo. It's absolutely freaking awesome, at least in my eyes. I don't always have to think of myself as the best builder or the best player. If I'm happy with it, then I enjoy the game. But the new update is coming out really, really soon, about 5 days from the posting of this video. And well, the reason I was so adamant about getting this zoo done is I wanted to tie in all our loose ends before the next update, or at least before I start working on the episode that is going to be involving the next update. We'll probably update it next during the middle of this next one, but the big focus of the new features isn't going to come until the one after. So we have a few last things we want to tie up in the next chapter. I don't know if I'm going to do this portion of the city yet, because I think I might want to wait and use some of the new blocks, specifically the variations of tough, because I love tough block, as well as the new versions of copper and other things. I think I could make this area over here more of an industrialized city area, and I think that would be really, really awesome. And then we have just a few little buildings to put over at on the top of the steampunk city. And then that one will be 100% done too, with the exception of, the spider farm we got to build there and a couple little things, but nothing that's going to require us to really dedicate any focus. So the next episode, our plan is to, one, go on some adventures and get some very, very, very dangerous mobs in these holes. The one I'm worried about the most is the ravager, because they're mean. They're really, really mean. The guardian should be pretty fun. I got an idea of how to do that one. But anyways, that is it for this episode. I hope you all really, really enjoyed it. I did, even though I am tired as crap. I'm not even gonna lie, I am. But yeah, and also we had some issues with the Discord with the invite links going down. I believe I have that solved now to where the link is permanent. So if anybody would like to come into the Discord and just joke around and, I don't know, show pictures of your build or just talk about Minecraft stuff or whatever you want to do, as long as it's peaceful and all that. I'm going to put new links in all of the places I can. So I encourage you to come, just say hi, or just have a good time. Until then, well, I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a great day. Now I have some awesome news. Our software for recording motion, it's back up. Now the bad news is it actually doesn't get back up till close to the end of this episode. But we still do some pretty awesome things, and I'm really excited because this episode is all about our future. I really hope you all enjoy. I had a blast doing this one, and to me at least, this one is really special. And yeah. Hope you enjoy. Well, welcome back, peoples. We're sitting here in our newly decorated house on top of our castle. Yeah, almost 2,000 days in, and we finally got our starter house, I said sarcastically. Anyways, we're sitting here with the Alpha Squadron because, well, I heard that they have some news for me. So, hey, yo, Halligan, what's up, bro? What's this meeting about? Nah, I don't care about the bone you buried, dude. You've been talking about that bone for like 2 weeks. I'm sure it's a shiny bone, dude. You need to find something else to fixate on. You know what? You're in timeout. Just hush it. Trips. Dude, what's going on with Halligan, man? He keeps talking about this bone. I know, dude. Like, I kind of think it might be like a Canadian girlfriend type of situation. I'm not even so sure it exists. Anyways, Sparrow? The homing pigeons? Oh, okay. What's up, Sparrow? Drips over there said you had some information for me? Are you kidding? New empires? Now, Sparrow and his homing parrots had some information for us. They say they've been spotting kingdoms sprouting up all over our world. They said they even saw one in the sea. They saw one that looked like a orc encampment. They saw one that almost looked like an elven city. Yeah, so I don't really know, but we better get our defenses up and get our city done. And that is my fun little way of saying it is time to finish up our capital and move on to other areas of the world. Now, this is always going to be home base. We're not moving our storage or anything like that, and this is always going to be a part of our world. We're probably going to see this place every episode, at least a little bit. But I've always been a fan of RPGs, big time. Love them, especially story-driven ones. Big D&D guy. Never really got into the pen and paper just because I never really had the people to play with. But video game-wise, I'm an RPG dude, for sure. Which is why I love Minecraft. It's almost like a sandbox RPG, as long as you have a little bit of imagination. But anyways, we have some things we need to do. We want to get this moat finished. We want to finish our city around our capital. And we need to go on a couple dangerous adventures. Now, your dude, he makes mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. And we update to 1.21 here in just a minute or so. And I didn't think about something. I need to get a ravager in the hostile mob habitat. Now, they changed the way you get bad omen. You have to do it through the trials now. So I don't know how I'm going to do that because, well, I have explored a big portion of my world, which means these trials probably are not going to generate unless I go really, really, really far away. So yeah, we might have to get some other hostile mobs first, but I gotta figure that out. Now, luckily, I have tons and tons of totem from the raid farm we built, so I'm good there. I shouldn't die. And if I do, it is what it is. If I die having an entire chest worth of totems, then I kind of deserve it. But yeah, so we start working on the walls of our moat thing, and we decide we don't really want to do the walls too much on the side that's not our city. But we are going to fully do the walls that are around our city, as well as we're putting a little bit of dripstone in the ocean, a little spikiness, and we really just want some tuff on the top and some moss on the bottom. We didn't really want to go too crazy with the color palette, because sometimes less is more, and that's something I overdo sometimes. I'm fully willing to admit whenever I make a mistake or overdo something, and in some builds I do go overboard with the variation of the color palette, but it's part of my style, and I'm going to do what I do because it's Minecraft, and I'm going to do it. Yeah, logic and things. I got to figure out the design for this bridge, but do you guys want to see the most pro elytra flying you've ever seen? Like, I'm a master. Oh, yeah. Like this is just amazing. Don't pay attention to that, or that, or that. Nope. Perfect. Absolutely flawless. We are officially in 1.21, which means a whole lot new copper stuff and a whole lot new tough stuff. And I just got really tired of placing my copper all over my world. I needed a facility, so I dug out this little cave here, and we're going to make a cool little entrance for it and stuff. And this is going to be where we age all our copper. Wherever the spruce blocks are, that's where copper's going to go, perfectly spaced. And we're going to fill the rest in with wood because, well, I just want to be able to run through here and pickaxe it without having to worry about breaking my floor or my walls. And now I didn't think about something. As I got into 1.21, I didn't realize that you have to age the trapdoors by themselves. You can't turn the blocks into the trapdoors. So we're probably going to dig this thing up 3 more blocks or 3 more blocks down. Either way. That way we can age the copper on the bottom and the copper trapdoors on the top, because these new blocks are absolutely amazing. Probably the best blocks I've had from an update in a long, long time. They're awesome. All right, and now our little aging facility is complete. I didn't show me building the rest of it because of one of two things. Either it was too boring to show, or I was stupid and didn't press record. Yeah, I literally got to that wall, which is the last thing I did, and was like, are you freaking kidding me? But it wasn't all that impressive anyways. But we can do 2 full stacks of blocks at the same time. We could do 2 stacks of the regular blocks, so 1 stack on the roof, 1 stack on the bottom. We could do all trapdoors, and it's going to work. So yeah, it's not pretty. It's actually pretty ugly, but it is functional. This is just a behind the scenes resource, really. I'm not going to be showing this, but I just wanted to show you guys that I have it. And yeah, it's going to come in clutch because, oh my gosh, the new copper blocks are fire. So before we get to our massive expansion on the city around the castle, I want to go test something. Yeah. Okay, so it appears we do not have to go into the new trial dungeon to get the bad omen. I thought that's the only way you could get it now. I actually like this change because it lets you choose when you want to have the bad omen. That's pretty cool. Now it's time to place our first ever new versions of the tough blocks, and every single one of them is awesome. Like, I don't think there's any new version of the block I do not like. But this is going to be our museum. It's going to be where we have like the dragon egg. That's going to be the main feature. Probably we're going to put the different pottery sherds. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that just yet. I don't know if I'm just going to display the sherds themselves or put them into pots, because there is a lot of them, as well as like the armor trims, but they keep adding more, and I feel like if I want to collect them all, I'm going to have to expand this thing at some point. But for right now, we're just going to do what we have. And we're leaning hard into the grays, the reds, and the greens. I wanted this building to look much, much more newer than the other buildings around. Like, it's a recent addition. But I don't know. I really like the grays. The cyan terracotta, a block I don't use very often, it really, really goes good with the new tough block. Like, it is awesome. And these new copper grates, probably my new favorite block next to the barrel. I've always loved the barrels. But yeah, so we're just whipping up this, and then we get to build a city all the way around this. And we're not sure exactly how we're going to do that just yet, but I think it's going to be like a multi-level, lots of, what do you call it? Retaining walls going to different levels of height around the city. And I think it's going to come out pretty cool. But at the time of recording this voice, I don't know yet, because I haven't done it yet. Sometimes I'll come back and do it after I've done it. I haven't even touched the rest of the city yet. But yeah, this little build here came out really cool. I am just vibing with terracotta right now. It's kind of my jam, and I think I'm going to use some new blocks that I don't use in any builds, really, in some of the buildings around this city. Yeah, and they might come out bad, they might come out good, but we're going to find out. So if it sucks, let me know. So we got our first exhibit in, and well, it had to be the dragon egg, because, well, it's the rarest item in the game, so it gets its own little special area. Now, we actually can't finish the rest of this museum right now, because we don't have everything to display. Over here, we're going to do a bunch of displays of different, the pottery sherds, except all the way in fully complete pot version, which means I'm going to need a minimum of 5 of every single sherd. That way I can build the pot as well as display the sherd. And over here, we're going to be doing all the armor trims. We're missing the new ones, and we're also missing that scary, scary silence one. I ain't doing that right now, but we will be going to do that, probably in the next couple episodes. But right now, we have cities to build. So for right now, we are just going to use this place as a hub for all our boxes while we build this massive city. Let's go get to it. Sitting at 1970 days, the time has finally come to finish off our city, our capital, our center of life of the kingdom. And oh my gosh, this is going to take a lot of planning. You guys know that I don't plan a whole lot of stuff. This one I had no choice because it was going to be very, very complex. So we are going to throw down a ton of plots and just get ready for, I don't know how many buildings, but it's going to be a lot. and it's all going to tie around the museum and the castle itself. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any farms or anything in here. I might do a sniffer farm or a couple little ones just scattered in there. But mostly it's going to be residential and maybe a couple bigger industrial style buildings. But we have a lot of work to do, and I'm going to run out of voice. So, I'm going to rock out and get this done. I'll be back in a minute. I put together 32 shapes. Every one's going to be a building. This is going to drain my sanity for sure. 100%. And on top of that, we also have a bridge I didn't count and some walls to do. I better get to work. Fair warning, there's going to be a lot of building on this episode. So when I started that museum, I had a chest and a half full of tough block. And now I have none. Yeah, it's all gone. So I have to do a few chores. I'm going to have to dig me a bunch of tough block down in our little mines down there. And also we need to go get some mud, because I'm going to need some mud brick. Back to choring. The super-duper really annoying part about tough block is it is not renewable. The awesome part about it is with a beacon it does insta-mine. So it's not too bad to gather a lot. Now, I selectively showed the scenes of me gathering this tough block because, well, I am directly under my little makeshift deep dark. And if I go to the wrong area, it explodes eardrums. So I chose selectively. With about 2 shulkers full of tough block and our eardrums just ringing from all the shriekers, we head off for our next task. Now, the only mangrove swamp we have found so far is about 5,500 blocks to the south. And, well, we came here for 2 reasons. Well, we needed a bunch of mud because we're going to be using a lot of mud brick, and I'm out of mud. But also, I brought some obsidian with me because I want to set up a portal here. Because with the new trial ruins, or trial chambers, whatever they're called. You know I'm not English proficient. We have explored about 6,000 blocks, an entire circle around our area. So this gives us an area that this is the farthest we've been, and we can find new chunks. Every portal we activate seems to be a death trap. Our original portal, hanging off the cliff of a basalt delta. Our second one, Soul Sand Valley surrounded by lava. This one here, is literally going to be engulfed in fire. But at least it's protected till we get back. I mean, I don't know. We can make it work. But we head on home. Now, we do find another bastion, and it looks like it's a pretty promising one, honestly. So we're probably going to be coming back to that, because I think I need pottery sherds for it for the museum. I'm not. I'm gonna have to look into that. But we have a city to build, and we are ready to roll. So yeah. So strap in, prepare yourself, grab some snacks and popcorn. This is going to be one heck of a time lapse. I don't know the exact amount of time this actually took me to do, but if I add up all the footage I have of recording, it's about 18 hours so far. Yeah, I'm really good with my time. But anyways, so we're just gonna whip up phase one of this city. Now, some of these buildings are gonna be more elaborate than others. I tried something new on some of them. I just whipped up random shulker boxes and threw colors in there I thought would work together, and I just plopped them down in front of plots and tried to make them work. And well, some of them worked out pretty good, and some of them, well, to be honest, were just okay. But all in all, when the project is done, I think it's all really going to tie really, really, really well together. There's going to be some sections that are definitely cooler than others, but that's really with anything in Minecraft, honestly. Especially whenever you're putting in this amount of work. It's just, at some point when you're building for 8 straight hours, your brain just goes on autopilot, and sometimes you forget that just to take a break, step back, and kind of reset your brain. But I really didn't do that. I said, I want this done. And all in all, I don't really regret any of the builds. There's several that I'm really, really proud of. Especially, I started using some lime terracotta mixed with green concrete powder and moss blocks. It came out pretty cool. Also, I used a little bit of bamboo. Never used bamboo before, kind of hate the block, but the trapdoors are kind of cool. But anyways, we're going to get through phase one of this, and then we're going to go do something a little more fun. I got to go capture a couple dangerous mobs. Because like I said, this is going to be a two-phaser. I cannot do this all in one go. And then we're going to come back and finish this city. All right, now our city's starting to pop. I'm digging it. We're about, I'm gonna say roughly halfway through, maybe a little less. But that I wanted to get that section done because that's the really cramped section. And also there was a lot of walls involved. Not the walls in the buildings, obviously. I'm talking about the walls in the retaining walls. So that was a little more time consuming. Everything up there and everything down here should be pretty straightforward. But I need a little break, and I want to go capture some mobs that want to kill me. Yep, that sounds fun. First up, we have the Guardians. We want to get 2 of these dudes. And the other one is going to be the Ravager. He's going to be a little harder. Now, this one should be pretty simple. We're just going to use a water elevator to bring these dudes up and just push them into their new habitat. We're going to use boats to transport them. I played around with this a little bit, and I didn't realize that if you're... It's kind of weird. If you are in the boat with the Guardian, it can't shoot you. But if you're out of the boat and he's in the boat, he can still shoot you. I don't know how that works, but that's how that works. Anyways, we start just laying out some boats just to capture these guys. We really only want 2 because that's all we really need. We don't even really need 2, but we just want to. But we go ahead and get our first little boaty dude captured. And these guys have some really weird interactions in a boat. They just like flopping around. Kind of crazy, actually. We get our first guy in, and we go ahead to get the second one. And we didn't really have too much trouble. I only got hit 1 or 2 times. Nothing really that big. The more annoying thing, which I didn't really show, is building the platform for these guys. I probably should have done it before I captured them, because they kept shooting at me every time that I tried to build so they could go up to their new home. And I ended up naming them Something's Fishy and Grumpy Trout. Yeah, and they just go right in. They were happy. They're happy with their new life. I don't blame them. It's a pretty sweet little place to live. We got our fishy friends in here. And now for the more difficult task. I need to get myself a ravager. Yeah, let's go do that. We head over to our little weird beach village from the beginning of this series, because we needed ourselves a volunteer. Otherwise, this whole raid thing ain't going to work. Now, I wanted to set this up fairly close to the city, but not to where it would trigger any of the villagers in the city. So we did it next to the steampunk city, because there's no villagers in there. And also, see that creeper right there? I had no idea that dude was hanging out the entire time I was doing this. It could have been bad. We set ourselves up like a little base with some minecarts in front of it, just in case things get a little wild. But don't you worry, everything goes perfectly smooth. Yeah, because that's how Minecraft works. But we start the raid up, and we take out the first couple waves. And I make a big dumb mistake. Now, handling these mobs is no problem. I'm not really too worried about dying. I can fly away, and they get trapped in there anyways. But here's the thing. I didn't realize that the Ravager would be getting pushed into the stone. And, well, he's just dying. And yeah, I'm shooting him too, but I'm trying to break that guy because I thought maybe the force of the 2 minecarts was pushing him in and causing the damage. No, he just is so big that he just suffocates in the stone. I try to save him, and it does not work. We had some glass in our redstone box, so we went ahead and replaced the stone with glass. That way they cannot suffocate. And, well, things go haywire, because now I'm on the 4th or the 5th wave, which means that I have to deal with Vexes, which means I cannot stay in my little safe spot. So we take to the skies, and we just try to snipe them all off. This does take a minute, but it was actually pretty fun. It wasn't that hard. Once the evoker was gone, things were pretty simple. The biggest thing was getting the rest of these guys out so our Ravager friend can get in one of the minecarts. And we eventually get it. Now we need to end the raid. Now, don't feel bad for this villager, okay? What's really happening here is we're faking his death. See, this dude had like a ton of gambling debt. So he's just going to pretend to die. He's going to move, a couple biomes over. He's going to start a new secret life. Don't worry about him, okay? He's fine. And we end up name tagging our Ravager because we have to. But you can't really see the name. But I named him Dexter for multiple reasons. Because he's a psycho and, another reason that's personal. Now, we got Dexter secured, and we have to get him into his new home. And, this is Minecraft, so nothing could possibly ever go wrong. Everything goes 100% smooth in this game all the time. Now, I will say in hindsight, I probably should have lured this guy over closer to the castle first and then built the track. But I didn't do that, and it is what it is. Alright, so that did not go the way we planned, but let's see if we can't get this guy home. Now, this guy's little journey home goes pretty smooth. There really wasn't any hiccups. Oh, man, I love that city right there. It's just beautiful. That, you know something's going to go wrong because it's this world and something is going to go wrong. He gets to his habitat just fine. That's not the problem. As soon as he gets in, he tries to die again. Like, what is going on, dude? Like, I guess they're just that big that if they get anywhere near a wall, they die. I don't know. It was a little scary. I did not want to have to do this again. Yeah, but it ended up working out. We got Dexter home. Bro, you seriously did not cooperate. Alright, so we finally got our Ravager friend in there. In hindsight, when the first Ravager was dying to the wall, I could have just flipped the switch and turned off the track. Yeah, I didn't think about that at the time. But yeah, I could have done that. Huh. Oh well, it's done. And, now I have to tear all this down, but I'm not going to show that because that's boring. And after I'm done there, I'll be coming back, and we're going to be super duper speedy mode building the rest of our city. So we can get bigger and better things on the next chapter. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, my peoples, we are in the final stretch. Our city is almost complete. I'd say by the end of this episode, it's going to be about 98% complete, but whatever's not complete, we're not going to dedicate another episode to. Now, we'll just do little things here and there. I might even do some stuff off camera because I have bigger and better things I want to get onto. But the city should look pretty awesome when it's done. And right there, we get our motion software back. Absolutely awesome. I missed it so much. A lot of stress recording the other way, but it is what it is, and I got it done. And we have about 6 ideas of what we want to do next, all involving various kingdoms. Now, this city here is kind of like a melting pot. I just slapped together a bunch of different styles, and it's kind of the way I wanted it to be anyways. Now, our expansion, our new empires that we are going to be building, they are going to stick more to a theme. Like I was saying earlier, I want one to be like an orc or goblin camp, like an Atlantis theme, an elven theme, maybe like a dragon roost, and it just goes on and on. I just don't know which one we're gonna start with, but it's whatever it's gonna be cool. I promise you that. So we are gonna finish this city up real quick, and I'll get back to you in a second. So we are officially over 2,100 days survived in this world. And yeah, I am 100% happy with this outcome. Oh my gosh, it was worth it. Now, I intentionally didn't do that section. As I was building up there, and we had all these smaller buildings down here, I had some ideas for some farms. So that area is going to be reserved for a moss farm, a sniffer farm, and one other big farm. And that will finish off that part of the city. And this thing will be 100% done at that point. However, like I said earlier, I'm just going to do that either off camera or maybe even as an intro to the next episode. I don't know yet, but I am not dedicating a lot of time to it. Our city is done. And the amount of things that we have done in this world is insane. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many farms we have anymore. We got pretty much every zoo animal we want. We built a castle. We got ourselves tons of villagers. We are incredibly rich. We built a steampunk city. I have no complaints. And now it is time to move on to another project. Because that's always how it's going to be. I truly hope you all enjoyed. I know in the last couple episodes, the footage has been a little different because, well, with replay mod being down, I didn't have my normal way I like to do things. But I hope people out there enjoyed it, and have a great day, you awesome people. Peace.